You know what's really funny? Every single time I swap from my like my beginning or ending scenes, I always want to click in stream instead. One day I'm gonna accidentally put in stream instead of like changing over to the chatting screen instead, and I'm gonna have to like go back and make like another live to click into. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. Hello! Hi, Sin! You're always so fast! Hi, Sin! How are you guys? How's everyone doing today? What is today? Today's Wednesday, right? Villain is so lazy, she is true. Stream as soon as it's about to start. It's an accident, okay? I plead the fifth. Hi, Big L! Am I Big L? It's Thursday. Is today Thursday? Wait, no. When did it become Thursday? Oh my gosh, I could have sworn it was still Wednesday. Okay, I suppose it's Thursday. Whenever it's on my easier week at work, I always wish for time to go a little bit slower. So I could have sworn it was just 2 days into this week for me. It was just Wednesday, but I suppose not. Hello, Lian. Hopefully you're doing well, having a wonderful evening tonight. I am having a wonderful evening, Nasa. How are you? Oh, so the reason why I'm having such a wonderful evening, if it was Wednesday, I'd be on my day off. So that's why you know. So the reason why I've been having a really good day is because there's this food delivery service, like grocery delivery service, because where I'm at, it's kind of hard to get my hands on certain things that I like to eat. And so there's this food delivery service that I found out about, and I tried it a couple of weeks ago and I really liked it. And so they had lychees. I don't know if you guys have tried the fruit before, the actual lychee fruit, not the artificial like stuff in teas and whatnot. Although, not gonna lie, that tastes pretty tasty too. Oh, hi Ryan, long time no see. Hello. I have. Anyways, lychees are so delicious, but like usually when I have them, it's like one is really good, and then there's 5 that are all right per se. And then this bag though, I ate back to back good lychees. And so I didn't eat much dinner. I just wanted to keep on eating lychees instead. Wait, you guys get days off? 'Cause I'm human. And honestly, if I got it my way, I would never work. So I haven't made many streams. Been studying for finals. Did you finish your finals yet? 'Cause your school system's kind of like a year-round thing, right? You should be starting your summer break soon, right? Congrats. If you're about done with finals, or if you are done with finals, congrats. Talking about food, I see. Someone said they hoped I had a good day, and my good day is because of food. I can't help it. Oh, the other part, since you know I'm already on the topic of food, I also have been getting kind of addicted to this new latte. I've been trying to like perfect it a little bit more. Cookie butter latte. Like, I don't know if you guys have had cookie butter before. You know, like the what's it called, like the Biscoff coffee. Wait, why are my eyes like this? Give me 1 second so I can fix it. Oh, what the heck? Am I know I'm lazy, but my eyes are usually a little bit more open than this. Let me fix this real quick. The thing is that I did this before stream too, but I guess my computer doesn't like me. Maybe this looks better. A little bit better. And so the cookie butter, like the Biscoff cookie, like you know the cookie that you get on like flights usually, it's kind of like a cinnamony, like really nice and crunchy. So it comes in butter form, so I do like a big scoop of that, and then I put like a couple shots of espresso, a little bit of milk, and it's so tasty. I just need to make sure I get the ratios properly. Just gotta win the lottery to never work again. So you got the winning number for me, Sin? Did you get something for me? Finals tomorrow and on Monday. Then done for the school year. Congrats. do you have like all of your difficult finals on one day and then like your easier finals on another, or is it kind of spread throughout? Because honestly, I feel like I liked it when it was a little bit more spread throughout, because if it was like a couple of easy ones and a couple of hard ones, at least that way I'll have time to study the hard ones. Glutinous villainous. You know it. Oh yeah, another reason is because I've been staying up way too late talking on the phone with someone. Is that someone taffy, or is there someone else? You know I'm nosy. You can't just end it with that. Love this airplane. Cookies are so good. If I had the winning numbers, I'm using them for me, and then you're gonna donate some to your favorite villainous, right? Right? History, bio tomorrow, and then math Monday. No different person. Take your time. I'm all ears if you're willing to share. I was never a big history person, but and honestly, like I think I had bio like freshman year. I hated like bio that year, but then when I took it like my senior year for like AP bio, I liked it a lot more. I thought AP bio was actually like easier than my first class of bio. But math, I always loved math. I didn't have to study much for math because it was one of my favorite subjects. Do you guys still have, I think some of you guys are a little bit older and maybe not in school anymore, but what are everyone's favorite subjects? Or is it, there's no favorite subject, just don't talk about school. She has insomnia, insomnia really sucks. Like, I don't know if I could really say I have insomnia, but it definitely is hard for me to fall asleep a lot of times, or like to even like keep myself awake. No, to keep myself asleep. Crazy how kids are getting more of a springtime than adults are these days. Hey, wait, no, you actually have people asking you out. You have a springtime. You're just ignoring the springtime, which is fine if you're not interested. Oh, my math, yeah, math's great. She also has some problems, so I tried to get her out of that mindset. Aw, that's really nice of you, but remember, it's nice to be nice, but you also gotta protect your own peace too if you feel like it's a bit too much. Physics was good. I liked history and language studies too. I hated physics. I hated physics with a passion. Like, it was so funny because with AP Physics, it's calc-based, and I really liked math. So like when you derive the equation, and it's like the simplest of equations. It's just like the, what was it? Like the x squared plus like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of like the acceleration and whatnot. Give me a pen and paper, I might be able to derive it again. But like that part I liked, but everything else in physics, hated. E&M, like electric magnetic stuff, hated that one too. Ugh. But language I definitely really liked. Math on top, bio's good too. So you're a STEM guy, huh? Basic arithmetic. Honestly, I think calculus might be easier than basic arithmetic. Cause like sometimes when I back then when I was doing like actual math homework and doing like calculus homework, I remembered I would type basic stuff like 7 + 5 to make sure I had it right. Hey, it's not my fault people think I'm pretty and ask me out in weird places. Where's the weird places? I'm innocent? I don't know. I feel the vibes I get are not innocent vibes. Nerdy Miss Lian could handle factorials easy, I bet. Maybe back in the day, but nowadays, I'm like, I think I can still do derivatives because that's pretty simple. I would have a hard time with integrals because that's been since high school, okay? But speaking of like language studies and liking language studies, so you guys always know how to bring a story time out of me. So in college, you know how I told you guys I took Chinese? That was one of my favorite classes in college, and it was a 5-credit course, which means that it was an hour-long class, or like 50 minutes long, every single day, Monday through Friday. And I enjoyed it so much that I was always participating, like I really liked it. And so I would never be sleepy or try to fall asleep in it. Physics, on the other hand, was a struggle. Like, not only did I not want to go to the class, I also struggle to stay awake when I'm in that class. So long behold, there was a day that I felt like I was about to catch a cold, or I was catching a cold, right? Like I had a really long day of classes. I can't deal with it, with being sick. So I'm like, at least I need some cold meds to help with my symptoms. So you know how there are daytime meds and nighttime meds. So I took the daytime one because obviously I have classes, because the nighttime one has the sleepy stuff. So I took the daytime meds, and then I went and I think I had my Chinese class first. And I started getting really tired, and it was really weird because I'm usually, like I said, I'm usually not tired when it comes to Chinese classes, but like, well, obviously, like I'm sick. It's fine, right? I went to my physics class and I struggled like I've never struggled before. And then, you know, life goes on. A couple months later, I had another cold. And it was daytime, so I had to pop open the daytime meds again. Tell me why the film on top was still on. You know how like medications, there's that little foil piece on top before you open it? Tell me why. It still had that. I grabbed the nighttime med, I looked at it, and it was already open. So guess what I did? I kind of drugged myself. I accidentally took the nighttime, not knowing, and I blamed that on being sick and being tired and out of it. And so I took the wrong meds. I failed foreign language class. Which one? Because honestly, like, the Chinese, for me, Chinese was difficult, not because of the speaking part, but because of the writing. After like around like a year and a half, 2 years of Chinese, I started like, if I learn a new character, I'll forget an old one. So that was difficult, and that's why I didn't take more than 2 years of Chinese. I got my minor and that was it. I fell asleep in math today. That is actually, I think that's the one class I never fell asleep in school, in all of my schooling. Never fell asleep in math. At work is one, like I'm being nice for my job. Oh hey, a gas station in the middle of the night? Once while crossing the street during busy hours and going the opposite direction? At the airport? I know you're not flexing, but it sure does feel like it. Oh, my foreign language class is Latin. I've heard so many things about Latin. I've heard how it's so difficult. I'm guessing you're not a big fan of that one? Or not as... Wait, no, you said you did like your language class. You like Latin? Are you a nerd like me, Ryan? I was in a sophomore level class as a freshman. Dang, you're so good at it then. Sick Miss Leon can't distinguish colors. I see. Honestly, I was probably like half awake, eyes half open. Like this. Trying to grab some meds. And like at the time, I must have lived with a roommate in the dorms, and there was no separations, like no partition between our beds. So it'll just be probably me trying to be nice and not turning on a light, or at least just like a little light. Yeah, Lan's a little helpless girl when she's like, not little, maybe not helpless either, but maybe not as functional. There you go. I'm not as functional as a human being as I would like when I'm sick. No sin is flexing, right? I think so too. You love Latin. Good for you. All the people that I've ever heard talk about Latin hated it. I love Latin, wish my region had Latin. Wait, did you learn Latin too, Sin? How cool. I'm not flexing. Sure. But you are a little, not a little, a lot. A lot, Riley's flexing a lot. Oh my gosh. So, you know how I had posted, was it yesterday? It must have been yesterday. Oh my gosh, it was Wednesday, so it would have been yesterday. About whether I should play, what I should play on Sunday, whether I do Final Fantasy VII, because they're coming out with the second part. I think the last part of it coming up soon-ish, and I'm like, oh, I should at least play the first part, because I am interested in it. And I think you guys were commenting about how I would struggle and whatnot, and like how I've said in the past I've done savage raids in FF14. You see, part of me is just like, yeah, I did, and then another part of me is like, oh wait, no, that was like a year ago, or maybe even longer. And part of me is like, I am going to tell you guys that I'm not gonna struggle, but it's been a while, so I'm kind of worried about having to backtrack in a few days. So we shall see if I'm gonna struggle. The other part is, if we're gonna start playing FF7 on Sunday, because coming next week, I don't know how often because my work week, like how I told you guys, 1 week is okay, 1 week is not okay. If that's the case when we start on Sunday, that would only be one stream in before I might go a little bit MIA, or at least like maybe just do a few chatting streams here and there. So part of me is like, oh, maybe instead of playing Fields of Mystria, oh, was that tomorrow? Instead of that, maybe I start earlier so we can get at least a little bit more into the story. So let me know what you guys think. My high school had German as an option, but our current line teacher was the German teacher, and the old Latin teacher left. Ah, I think in my schools, I think most of the teachers were known for being like good teachers for the language. It's just once you get into like the AP level, like it's not just about the teachers anymore. Like as a student yourself, you have to apply yourself to the max to be able to get like a good score. So I never bothered. You're a big girl. You got this. I am a big girl. So big at 5'1.5". No, she's very little. Like teeny tiny. Hey, like holding the palm of your hand. How big is your palm? Huh? How big is your palm? I don't know Latin just enough to read De Agricultura, I'd say. I don't know any Latin. I did go to a Catholic private school when I was a lot younger. I think I told you guys at one point that I went to a private school, right? It was a Catholic school. But we were, I think usually Latin is more popular once you start getting in high school, right? I think I was just so young at that time. Like it was not something that was even like offered or even like talked about. Like maybe she could lift double her body weight like an ant? No. I can lift 10% of my body weight. Yeah, a private elementary school. I only did it for a couple of years. My sister did it, not even a couple of years. It was like a year and a quarter. My sister, though, did it for 3 years. So if you're talking about fancy, she be fancy. But anyway, so you know how we were talking about Final Fantasy? And I'm like, oh, I need to get into the RPG grind. I mean, 14 is an MMO, but I'm like, I need to get used to, like, more than just farming. So I logged back on to 14 because I also have a house. And the thing is that if you don't log in, is it monthly or every 3 months? I want to say it's every 3 months. If you don't log in, you get your house gets auto demolished, and that house is then up for sale to someone else. And I really like having a house, and so I logged back in. Also, so that I can start practicing my hands a little bit more, so I don't die a lot come the next few days. Private school girl, yeah. Wouldn't that be neat to see? My gosh, I can't speak. It was not neat. I was like, how old was I? I was like 10 years old. It was and like, you know how people like talk about like schoolgirl uniforms and whatnot? No, it was like the ugliest uniform. And like honestly, when it comes to schoolgirl uniforms at that age, like I feel like it should be ugly. Honestly, it could even be uglier, and that's okay. This should be oh my gosh, why can't I read today? This should be a system done to rich people IRL so the housing market isn't so messed up. Part of me wishes to be rich one day, so one day I wish to own 10 homes, but I know that will never happen. So you know what? You're right. But I logged into 14, my house was no longer auto-demolished, and I went through like the trial run, okay? Because there's like for the dailies, there's like the trials, but then you can also do like a regular dungeon, and the trials went on so smoothly that I'm like, oh, maybe my internet like connection is fixed. And then I went into a dungeon. I think it's that the trials last usually like just a few minutes, maybe like 5 minutes or so if everyone knows the mechanics well. And so it was pretty fast. I wasn't kicked off. I didn't lag either. So I'm like, oh, my problem's fixed. I then did a normal dungeon. And when I tell you, I got kicked off the server, had to log back in, was freaking out the entire time because there's like 3 other strangers that's playing there. And like, I'm DPS, so it's not as bad as if I was healer or tank, but I also feel really bad because I was the one doing like the highest DPS, and I was also the one who knew a lot of the mechanics as well, versus some of the others kept on dying here and there. So I'm like, well, at least if I'm there, like I can, it just go a lot faster, but I kept on getting kicked off, or like would lag so much that I would freeze for like a good like minute or two, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in MMO time, it feels like a lot. You can do it, Lan. There's still a chance of winning the lottery. You'll never know. Do you have the numbers? Would you like to share? Gonna draw tiny Miss Lian the ugliest uniform. Please do. Please do. I want to see a chibi Lian in an ugly schoolgirl uniform. I remembered like my uniform would go like past my knees, and like around 10th grade, so not 10th grade, 5th grade, I was like 10, 11 years old, and I went from a very skinny child that like my auntie could not buy me clothes because I was just that scrawny, to learning about snacks. And I remembered my mom was just like horrified at the amount of snacks I ate at that small age. Like my belly got pretty chubby and my skirt line would be right underneath my belly, and she was just like, you are dressed like a middle-aged uncle. Pull up your skirt. Okay, well, I'm gonna go study for history because I have a C- and need to do good. Good luck, good luck. Thanks for coming by. Oh, handicapped by your internet? My internet? Oh no, am I lagging? Wait, let me double check. Because I know the past few times I've been kind of laggy. C- is insane. Study hard. If you want a good life, you gotta study hard. Study hard. No, an F. Oh, and 14. I honestly, I don't know if it's my internet because the error code was like 90001. And I think that's the one I often get, or the one that ends with a 2, 6, 2, and then a 6. But it's like all like 900 blah blah blah. And it said it's usually like, and I went through because I contacted support, and I went through all the list of things that they're like, oh, you can do XYZ, and if you do all XYZ and it doesn't work, it's likely your internet service provider. The thing is that at my apartment, I get it like in bulk essentially. It's like for the whole community, and then you get your own private one, and then your own router and whatnot. And I guess for that type of setup, I can't just fix it. I can't just call them up and have them fix it. So it's so sad. Maya's okay. That sounds like a connection issue. Yeah. But like I went through all of the ways to fix it, including like something like opening ports. I can't remember what it was. I went through everything and nothing is fixed. So there's that. Honestly, even with the power. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 numbers for a lottery, right? I play very infrequently. Usually when it gets up to like, I don't know, like 700 million. My family would end up buying a couple of tickets, and so then my sister's like, okay, I bought you yours, here's yours. Yeah, so I don't know how to fix it. I really want to go back into 14, especially since I think the expansion is supposed to come out early next year, early 2027, and I hope that with all these patches and whatnot, something would end up getting fixed, because and like I'm not even caught up in the storyline, because like I don't want to be in a new dungeon and then like handicap other people because I keep on lagging. And then when, I don't know if you guys, I know some of you guys haven't played, but when you do the dungeons on your own, like with like just NPCs, it's so much slower, and I just don't have the patience to deal with that. You use Ethernet or just plain Wi-Fi? Just plain Wi-Fi. I know people say that you should use the Ethernet cable because like it's just faster that way, but like I've never had to. So I'm playing on my PC right now, but before I used to be on like PS5, and so I played for years and years on the PS5, and it was perfectly fine without any Ethernet. So I feel like I should be fine. And like I also played on the PS5 for forever at this current apartment with this current internet, and I was fine for forever. That could be the issue, I know. I've heard about it, but I don't want it to be an issue. Because then, I don't know with the current setup I have. I heard that you're not supposed to plug the Ethernet cable directly from the wall to your PC. I heard, like, you need, like, some type of router or something in between to, like, protect your PC. But I need to learn more into that before I do it. I have the cable. I just Interesting, you can plot the likelihood of numbers appearing in the lottery and group them to figure out which digits are most likely to appear. There's digits that's more likely to appear than not? I feel like that's rigged, no? If it's public Wi-Fi, absolutely don't connect with Ethernet. If it's strictly yours and no one else is able to use it, then it's fine. I don't know what mine's considered though, because the apartment provides it, but each unit has their own. Does that make sense? Like we have I don't even know how to say it. Like when I set up my router, it's specifically only for my apartment to use. So I don't know if it's considered public or not. But I guess I need to figure that part out too. Oh, and then my day's been doing okay. Sounds like a split type Wi-Fi connection. I think that sounds kind of familiar. I think that might be it. But like even though my day's been good because my litchis were really good. Oh, I also got, what's it called? Rambutan? I don't know how to say it in English. If it's apartment Wi-Fi with individual routers, it's public domain. Do not plug an Ethernet in. Okay. Okay. Wait, does that mean I have to buy like a brand new router? Like a separate router? Or do I have to buy... How would I do it then? Because if I put another router, wouldn't that mean I'm trying to set up 2 Wi-Fis? If it's in a... Anywho, so my week though has been an interesting week. I've been trying to play out with whatchamacallit, this big scrunchy like thing. I've been trying to find ways to curl my hair without using heat. I've been really good at like minimizing a lot of heat in my hair, like using like a really good microfiber towel to like squeeze out a lot of hair, because like my hair be really long. It actually, let me see, actually I think, yeah, it's at like the small of my back, like maybe a few inches above my butt. And so it takes a really long time for it to dry. Yes, you need your own Wi-Fi service to not be publicly connected. So I do have my own Wi-Fi service, but then how do I connect my computer via Ethernet then? Would I have to connect it to my Wi-Fi, like my router then? Because I don't think I have like a router modem separate. I have it like combined. They're kind of like Litchis, but has C's depending on variant. I think, really? Wait, you're talking about rambutan, right? I thought they all have a seed. Well, long hair, yeah, really long. It's not, well, okay. For me, I don't think it's really thick, but I've seen some people with really thin hair too, so maybe not that thin, probably somewhere like an average Asian person's hair. Then again, wait a minute. No, I feel like a lot of people actually have, whatchamacallit, like extensions in, so I'm not quite sure what is average or considered average. But I tried doing, or like, I bought this thing off of Amazon, and it's like, it looks like a big fat scrunchie, and like it's like not only is like their circumference big, but it's kind of thick too, so you wrap your hair around that, and it just, my hair didn't look good with it, so I tried with like regular scrunchies, and I just divided my hair in half instead, because one alone won't be enough to contain all my hair. So I did that, and then the next day I took it out. I looked like a poodle. I have straight Asian hair, and somehow I became a poodle. And like I even put my hair into like 2 little pigtails, and like I straight up look like a poodle. And the thing is that I actually had to leave my apartment that day. I actually had something to do that day, and some part of it included taking a picture. I do not want proof of being a poodle. An adorable poodle was not an adorable poodle. It looked like a poodle who had refused to go to the groomers. It looked like a very stubborn poodle who had not seen a groomer in like 10 years. Sounds cute, poodle miss, it was not cute. It was so bad. And so like for the like, I haven't touched like a curling iron in forever. I had to pull it out to actually curl my hair, cause it looked really bad, and I don't have a straightener because my hair is usually straight. What would I use a straightener for? It comes pre-straightened. Yeah, so I looked like a poodle that day. But luckily the curling iron was hot enough to tame the poodle into submission. And I think like, oh, and the day before that, that was the day that I had a really long day of work, right? That's why I didn't stream on Monday. And I got out actually pretty much on time, which was a miracle to begin with. And the day I thought it'd be much worse, and it wasn't. But when I went to work, I couldn't find my wallet. I have a jacket that I wear to work, and I usually just swap out jackets. There's a cafe at work and a cafeteria as well, and so oftentimes I'll just stick my wallet into my my jacket in case, you know, if I'm walking around, I'm like, oh, I want coffee. I don't want to have to walk like half a mile back to my office just to go and get coffee. So I always have my wallet on me, and so whenever I swap off my my jacket for the day, I just put in my wallet in that jacket. And sometimes when I swap my jackets like that, sometimes I'll forget my wallet. So that morning I'm like, oh, like when I was heading to work, like I think I was like close to my car or something, I'm like, oh, I don't have my wallet on me. But like it was one of those things where that day of work, like if I have to be there at, I don't know, 6:30 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. 6 a.m. sharp, then I have to be there 6 a.m. sharp, not 6:01, not 6:02, like 6 a.m. sharp. And so I'm like, oh, whatever, I don't need my wallet. Oh no, you left your wallet. Oh, much worse. And so I am like, oh, I probably left it in my other jacket. I went back home after like 12 hours of work, right? I went back home. I looked into my old jacket. It wasn't there. I'm like, oh, maybe I've actually forgotten to swap it to my yesterday's jacket. Maybe it's the day before's jacket. I checked that one and the other one, and I checked all my jackets. There's none of them. And like at work recently, I've been going on like a little walk here and there. If like things are really calm and I'm done with my work, I might go on a really short walk. And so I'm like, oh, sometimes when I do that, I'll put it like the wallet, because it's just a little card holder. I'll sometimes just put it in my pants or in my shirt if I have a pocket there. So I'm like, maybe it's in one of those. I dug through all of my dirty laundry, all of it, and my wallet wasn't there. And this was after a really long week, like a really, really long week. And I just did not have the mental strength to think about it. Like I logged onto my credit card account, I locked it because I'm like, I don't know where it is. Like I'm probably gonna have to call the lost and found at my work the next day to see if they have it. But I'm like, I'm trying not to forget. I'm like, am I catastrophizing like everything? Like, oh my gosh, if I lose my ID, do I have to notify the police? Am I gonna have to like be worried about like identity theft? Like I was trying not to think about all these things, which of course I was still thinking about. Like, you know what? This is future Leanne's problem. This is gonna be tomorrow Leanne's problem. Tomorrow Leanne woke up and I'm like, what if tomorrow Leanne, which is today's Leanne, doesn't want to deal with it? What if she just goes back to bed? So she goes back to bed, but then eventually she wakes up. Identity theft is a huge problem. I know, and that's why I was freaking out. And so the next day's Leanne had to go downstairs, go into her car, and double check and see if somehow the wallet had fallen out of a pocket and landed somewhere in the car. Let future Leanne do it. That's honestly my motto. It's always going to be future Leanne's problem, not current Leanne's problem. If it's your own Wi-Fi and your own router under no one else's ownership, then yeah, you can connect an Ethernet and have privacy. I don't know if it's under someone else's ownership though. I guess I'll have to ask my apartment and see what it's considered. It was me. I swept the wallet for a joyride. You made me so stressing. So I checked my car. I checked the front two seats, because I'll often like just throw my jacket in the side, like the other side, the other seat next to me. It wasn't there. It wasn't anywhere there. And I'm like, oh well, okay. Is today's Leanne gonna have to deal with it, or can this also be future Leanne's problem again? I can do one thing per day. And I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna think about it right now. I'll think about it once I get upstairs. And I had just recently cleaned my car, and I had found some cups that have been in the back seat for a while. I didn't realize I think it had tumbled down from the seat and went to the back side of the car. And so when I cleaned it, there was a couple of cups that I just tossed there for future Leanne to deal with. Future Leanne's a really busy lady, okay? And so I'm like, okay, I might as well like go and grab those cups and bring it up. I grab those cups and I see a sweater there, or like a jacket there. I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't this one of the jackets that I wore this week? It was. My wallet was there. My wallet was just in the backseat this entire time. If it wasn't for the fact that I had tasks back in the backseat for Futureland, I would not have found that sweater. Because the thing is that usually I always throw my jacket on the other side, on the front seat, the passenger seat. But there was that one day my friend had got to work really early, and she had parked somewhere that was much closer for us. And so she was like, oh, what are the chances that Lian is going to get off at the same time as me and that we walk together again today? Because we almost always try to walk together to get to our cars, especially when it gets dark out. It's just safer, even though it's just two girls. Two girls is still safer a little bit than just one girl, right? And plus, we just chit chat the whole entire time. So she's like, what are the chances I'm gonna walk with Lian? Apparently really high, because even though she wasn't done with her work, I decided to stay behind to just wait for her. So we walked all the way to the parking lot that we usually park in, and it would have taken her a good 15 minutes to walk to the other parking lot. And she was like, can you just drive me to my car? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I threw my jacket in the back, which, like, the last time I did that must have been like 2-3 years ago. Like, I never do that. So I freaked myself out a lot for no reason. Yeah. It was so bad. I was so stressed. I even told my sister about it, and she's just like, you what? You lost your what? You're gonna have to do XYZ. I'm like, stop it. Don't tell me that all the lists, like, don't list out all the tasks that I have to do, because I can't right now. Head pats, Lian. Yeah, I needed the head pats. If it's not, then setting up a firewall and patching from LAN to your PC and finding the default subnet and IP, then configuring subnet and DNS as you want if needed. That was a lot of words. I know it's English, but it didn't feel like English. I have no idea what you're saying. You wanna come and help me just do it? Afterwards, I'll knock you out. I'll erase your memory of where I live. It'll be fine, right? But in between all this, the story that I've been telling you guys, oh my gosh, the emperor one, like, what was that? I'm dating the emperor, but only I didn't know, something along those lines. So in between all this happening, I was still reading it, and literally, you know how I'm like, oh, kicking your feet giggling? Like, no, it's past kicking feet giggling. It was like full on, like, uncle laugh, like, like, I don't want to call it a perverted laugh, but, like, it wasn't a cute laugh either. I was just on my couch, like, kicking my feet, going, and, like, I know the soundproofing in my apartment's honestly not that bad. I usually never hear anything unless I'm really close to a window, and then I might hear some traffic noises. But, like, next to my door, like my front door, like, you can hear a lot of sound coming from that. So I'm like, if someone, because we also like, we leave our trash outside there, and I'm like, if someone is picking up my trash and happens to be right in front of my door as I read a very cute part, they're gonna be hearing Uncle laughing the creepy laugh. It was like, I wouldn't call my laugh cute, like my normal laugh cute, but nor would I call it dainty, but, like, it's not, I wouldn't think it's creepy, but the do be kind of creepy. Because okay, I don't know if we're gonna get to that part today. We're gonna do more story time, if you couldn't tell by the title. But there is a part where they go on a quote business trip together, and the not the landlady, like the reception lady, does ask them, 1 room, 2 room, just 1 room, right? You guys are quote married, right? So Lian's neighbor, that quiet girl is laughing creepily. Something horrible is going to happen. Nothing horrible is gonna happen. All good things, okay? Oh no, Noah's right, Ignacio. Oh, Noah's right. I don't want to build a reputation at my apartment being that girl. I was like, oh no, she's laughing again. What is she laughing about? Okay. Oh wait, did you guys tell me how? Oh well, I guess you don't have to tell me, but did anyone tell me how their week is going? Did I miss it? If I did, I'm so sorry. I usually try to keep up, but then like sometimes when I rewatch my VODs, again, troubleshooting or like trying to like clips and make shorts and whatnot, sometimes I'm like, I could have sworn I read through every comment and then like I still miss one and I don't know how. But anyways, so story time, shall we? I'll try to keep the uncle laugh at the minimum. No worries, man. Thank you, Nasa. Okay. Uncle laugh at a minimum. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to make a toggle to give myself like an uncle expression. I don't know what that expression might look like, but I might need one. But for various reasons, I make sure to never remember where anyone lives. I could do that easy. Or I mean, Amazon's fast. What if I just buy like a baseball bat? You know? Okay. Ooh, where did we leave off? I think they've been just like going on dates and being like kind of just cutesy with each other, right? So the next, I think I have the next recap is maybe the next. I want to say like 10 to 20 chapters. I want to say 20, but that just feels like a lot. But I think it actually might be like 20 chapters recap. So kind of a little bit more on the like the progressing the story. Oh, also, is the background music okay, or is it too loud? I think you just want to hit me with a bat for sitting in the chairs. No, not at all. Maybe a little. Actually, no, take that back. No, my official answer is no. Oh, if someone ever hits you with the bat, I'm gonna have to edit the VOD to make sure that part where I'm like maybe a little is out. Don't give me that look. You knew it's not your chair. Use the greatest real estate developer. They have lots of awesome memeable faces. Do they? I'm gonna have to look into it. Cause like, I know I'm new. Like I just debuted. I think, was it beginning or like mid-April. So technically I've only been like streaming for like 2 months-ish, unless you count the time where I was kind of doing some like random gorilla streams on TikTok. Ooh, wait, no, I might have done that for a good like 2 weeks or maybe even a month before like my official debut. But even though I'm so new, I'm like, I could use another outfit. I could use another hairstyle. GED mentioned water. Wait, I mentioned GED? What did I say? Honestly, sometimes when you guys message me some things, I'm like, wait, what did I say? I think there was like one time when we were playing like Fields of Mystria and I said something about the bushes having some gumdrops, and I think Sin messaged like, what did you say? I'm like, I don't know, what did I say? GED is greatest. Wait, I'm gonna look at it, because what is it? I've never heard of it before. Greatest real estate developer? Oh, is it a webtoon, like a manhwa? Is that what it is? Gumdrops, yeah, they were really cute, but apparently, Sin thought I had said something else. If you want to know what he thought I said, or sorry, what they thought I said, go ask them. Yes, it is, but it was a novel before. Ooh! Lloyd is the goat. Is the goat hot? Cuz. Ooh! Okay, like the first like 5 pictures. No, I refuse. I don't want those faces. That's not pretty. I still would prefer to be pretty. Yeah, one of the few stories I'll willingly bleed to. What? I know that's what you heard. She found it. I am not doing those faces. Drawing Miss Lee with my faces. Feel free to draw it. But I'm not gonna commission it. I don't want to spend money on it. Oh, okay. So the next like 20-ish chapters of this novel, there are a lot of cute parts, but also there is a lot more to push the storyline along. And so the Emperor, there was one day that he was working, and you know how I was saying how like he's been doing a lot like like before he met her, he was at war for like a good 8 years. So now it's not like, oh, war's done, life is good. Now it's a cleanup process for after the war of talking to the defeated countries, you know, and trying to make peace with one another, right? Well, so I don't know. You know the words where like you only read but you never use, and so like I'm never sure if I'm actually saying the words correctly. Reparations? I'm pretty sure it's reparations. What was it? The defeated countries have to make reparations to the country that won. The country that won is the emperors, and so they were talking about how to do it. Part of it is a marriage alliance. And remember this part: the marriage alliance. The defeated country's princess is going to have to marry someone from the empire, which is the emperor's country, empire, right? Without context, I guess bleeding too. Something sounds weird. My tear ducts are busted. Instead of crying, my eyes bleed. Have you gone to see an ophthalmologist? You might want to get that checked out. And so there's been a lot of rumors even at her workplace, because she works at the finance department of the Imperial Palace. So there's been a lot of rumors about the emperor. And again, remember, she does not know that he's the emperor. She just thinks that he is a knight that works very, very closely to the emperor. And so she's like, oh, you know, thinking about the OG storyline, I don't think he's gonna marry the princess. I believe it's supposed to be the saintess. Like the OG storyline is supposed to be the saintess that he gets up with. And so she doesn't even really think about it anymore, right? And there was this meeting that the emperor had to be a part of, where there's like, I don't know if they call it parliament, but there was a lot of nobility and probably like ministers there as well. Oh, you should have that checked. Nothing. Sin should really have that checked out. Yeah, they ruptured from an accident. Can't be fixed without risk of blindness, but there's also no detriment to life of having them busted, so it's not worth it. Wait, but like, if you feel like you're gonna cry, do you not have that sensation at all? Or is it like you have the sensation but then nothing comes out? Or does it like hurt when you feel like you're about to cry? If I'm being too nosy, you don't have to respond. My dad had a busted tear duct and it got infected, almost took out that eye. Eye stuff scares me. Like seriously, a lot of like when we talk about like medical stuff, like I'm okay talking about like poop over dinner. I'm okay with talking about a lot of stuff or seeing a lot of stuff. Like, you know how like there's medical shows and then they'll show like, I don't know, like guts or like a bone or like stuff like that. I'm fine with. Or even seeing it in real life, I'm fine with. Popping an eye with a needle, I'm not fine with. Needles and knives near eyes, I'm not okay with. So like eyes kind of low-key scare me. So anyways, so in regards to the story, so there was that meeting where they're talking about who's that other country's princess going to marry, who the candidates should be, and everyone has their own agenda, right? Because that princess, that defeated country has a lot of monsters, like magical monsters, and they drop loot. The magical monsters drop loot, and those monsters are a little bit more rare in this country, and so everyone wants that loot. And so whoever they're trying to nominate for the candidate, they want it to be their candidate so that they get an in with the princess and in with that defeated country so that they can get their hands on that loot a lot easier. It's got like this burning, itching feeling. A tear or two might roll down, but blood follows right after. So then like that burning, itching, does it just become painful if like something actually comes out? Oh no. Do you get a second opinion? That sounds like a serious thing. I mean, if it sounds like it's been like an ongoing thing that someone has already known about. So, political intrigue with loot monsters sounds like a dream. Someone isekai me there. That sounds like a lot of work. Actually, no. I was gonna say like I want to be the female lead, but like she's overworked in her department as well. So like, I'll be good. And so, you know, this meeting keeps on dragging on, and so I think like he motions over, he gives a signal to one of like his people, right, to kind of try to wrap the meeting up a little faster. And as the meeting is wrapped up or getting wrapped up, one of the noblemen who he is not a big fan of, you know how like before he was trying to catch these corrupt people, so this is one of the noblemen, not that exact corrupt guy, but a guy that's in cahoots with the really corrupt guy, right? And so they start going like, well, not just talking about the marriage of that other princess, how about your own marriage, Emperor? Because, you know, there back then, because he had taken over the throne from his uncle, like he killed his uncle, right? And he went straight off to war. They didn't know if he was gonna survive this war or not, so they didn't want to full on support him or even give marriage candidates from their faction over to him, because if it shows that they are on his side and he dies, and the side who ends up ruling is back on the uncle's side, or whoever who had supported the uncle, because obviously uncle's dead now, they would be in trouble. And so they never brought up the emperor's marriage. But now they know the emperor has all the power. So they want to give one of their own candidates to the emperor. And so they keep on talking and talking, and he's annoyed, right? He's already telling them like, shush, I can do my own thing. But they're like, oh no, we're such bad ministers. You know, we've been so worried about the war. We didn't worry about your marriage. It's our fault. We were just so bad. Yeah, it's been about 8 years like this. Oh gosh, well, think happy thoughts. No sad. Wait, so then when you read, do you just have to like control your emotions really well and try not to like read really sad things, or are you just really good at not crying in general? Should have sown the seeds ages ago, bad ministers, right? But good thing they didn't. And so he keeps on trying to end the meeting. Like, he is trying to be patient, because it's one thing to like command soldiers, right? Because if someone back talks him, or like in war, like you don't back talk him, right? Being the emperor and the one who's like on the front lines, you don't go against him. But these ministers, they're noblemen who only know of peace. They never had to go out to war. They've never like really know how he is. They've just heard stories of how he's a mean tyrant. And so they keep on talking, they keep on yapping. And his patience runs real thin, because he has a date. And he wants to be in time for the date. And so he gets so annoyed. There was a guard nearby. He went over to the guard, drew the guard's sword, and goes, I'm not used to being challenged like this. I'm being patient right now, but my patience is thin. I don't know how I'm gonna end up using this sword. And so the ministers, seeing him like this, are shocked, right? And so they keep mum. They're like, what are the chances he's gonna do something? But like, no one's drawn a sword against them, and so they're scared. And even one of the ministers has like a bad heart, and so like he freaking passes out, or is like he's about to pass out. Not that the emperor directly threatened him, but he has a bad heart. And so word gets out, the emperor be scary and be truly scary. So fast forward a little bit, he goes on a date with the female lead. A combination, good emotional regulation, lots of reading sad things for exposure therapy, and good physical control. Dang, good for you. I am not a crier, honestly. I usually, like, day-to-day basis, like, even though like I can get overwhelmed at times, I'm usually not a crier. But when it comes to like sad stories or like angsty stories, no control whatsoever. I remember there's this one time, there was like it was a really short story too. It was such a sad story, and like, it was such a good story that I kept on watching it again and again and again and again. I won't tell you what it is, because it has to do with like a VTuber kind of lore, kind of something. And I don't wanna, you know, what's it called? Clout chasers. I won't say whose it was. But I remembered crying so much, like my eyes became like so swollen. I have never cried to that extent. But like real life, I've actually never cried that much. Base, tired, Emperor, all for the date. That's the kind of guy you want. And so I can't remember if it was this date that he was trying to go to or a different date. It's just he had to meet her. But on this date, there was this tea room that she had really wanted to go to. She used to go to this tea room, but the thing was that afterwards it started getting so popular that it was really hard for them to go to. On I think like one of the first dates that they went together, they had some time to kill beforehand, so they were going to go to this tea room instead. But it was so crowded that they had to just skip it. And so he knew that he knew she really wanted to go there. Highly recommend, greatest essay developer and omniscient. omniscient, oh my gosh, I can never say that word. Reader's viewpoint, totally not emotionally destructive at all. Oh no. Wait, I think I know that second one that you're talking about. I don't know if I've actually like read it, but why does it sound so familiar? No, I think I'm mixing it with, dang my god, 308 chapters on the webtoon. Nice one. Gotta take notes and be like these male leads. You gotta. There's so many people trying to date you. You gotta take notes for the right person. And so he ends up booking this tea house, like full on booking it. No one else can come in. And she even notes, like, she doesn't know that he did that, because like he's just a knight, and he's a what they called a serf, which meant that she thought that he is this guy named Everett Rojas, and he's not. But that is one of his knights. And his backstory is he's a serf, which meant that there is a lord that owns him. Not quite a slave, I don't think, but that he has a lord that owns him. And so she, in her thought, he's probably not the wealthiest guy. Like, he's a knight, so he has some money and like some power over himself right now, but not enough to like buy out the tea room for that day. And so she's like, wow, it's so empty. And he's just like smiling to himself, going like, oh, I did a good job. But in the tea room, and you know, there's lots of flowers, there's an inner courtyard and whatnot. Father, I Don't Like This Marriage is also a good read. Oh hey, Father, I think that's the one where like she goes back in time, right? But the dad never, because like she was almost like painted like a villainess, but the dad I think gave her a knife in the beginning of the story, and she thought that the knife was for her to kill herself when she was caught, or like when she was in prison. But I think his reasoning was the knife was for her to protect herself, right? And then you find out that the dad absolutely adores and loves the daughter, and actually has a really, really sad story, right? Where there was like an emperor or a king who essentially put the dad on a leash using her. That's the story, right? Let me just meet someone with white hair and go all out. Oh wait, don't you have white hair too? Look in the mirror. Yeah, that's the one. I was gonna wait. I know it's all done. At least the manhwa is all done now. I was gonna wait to read it, but I read like snippets of like the dad's story, and like that one picture where like he's covered. I think like he was covered in blood, and like he's just holding on to his tiny little daughter. Just broke my heart. Like, it's one of those stories where like I have to mentally prepare myself before I actually like go into it, which is why like the story, the one I'm telling right now, is so good, because like I don't think there's gonna be a lot of angst in it. Surprisingly, the villainess flips the script was emotionally touching as well, especially the side story with the male lead and novel MC. Oh really? I only read like maybe 5, 10, maybe up to 20 chapters of that. Because that I love the touching ones, like the emotionally charged ones. It's just like I need to mentally prepare myself with all of them. So they're in this tea room. It's gorgeous. The sun is shining through the window and it catches on his hair, and his eyes are this like liquid gold. Like, he's gorgeous, and that vision hits her like a wall, like a stone brick wall. Like, she's mesmerized. Like, he's always been handsome, but like her heart is pounding thump 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 thump, to the point where like she wants to put her hand over her heart, just like clutching her chest, but she's like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Pledge of allegiance? Like, no. But like even with saying that, I think eventually she does just like end up like clutching her heart, because like, my god, and I think she actually says it, he's like a freaking artwork, like he's a masterpiece. And she even wants to tell him, like, she's almost like exasperated by how beautiful and how handsome he is, that she just wants to like fess up and going like, your face is too much for my heart, because like she is flushed, he's like, something's wrong with her. Is she having a fever? Is something wrong? And so he gets closer to her, going like, are you okay? And she just wants to say, your face is not good for my heart. But as she's about to say it, as she's about to fess up, she's just like, so how have you been? Oh, we love stunningly beautiful male leads here. Male leads, extras, female leads, like all of them. I love beautiful people. I love beautiful anything, honestly. And so she eventually asks him, you know, what have you been up to this week? And he's not a very talkative guy to begin with, right? Like, I don't want to say he's completely taciturn, but like, he's not me. He's not a yapper, right? You're not gonna say, how are you? And like end up with like 20 stories and then like ending stream like an hour after you were planning to. And so he's just like, nothing. What's been going on? Nothing. And she gives him a look. Have you ever met those people that one look is enough for you to know, ooh, something's not right? She's one of those people. He reads it immediately, going, ooh, he said something wrong. What did he say wrong? Yapper girl, ex-quiet guy is pretty neat. I mean, I guess it depends on the quiet guy though. Because like, I feel like oftentimes a lot of times in relationships, or just like whether it's friendships or like romantic relationships, I feel like oftentimes the one who is considered more feminine, let's say in like even in not hetero relationships, I feel like the one that is considered the more feminine one, if there is a more feminine one, always ends up being the one to take the brunt of like emotional labor of continuing the conversation, thinking of something else to talk about. But then sometimes, like, if you get a real yapper who just really likes to talk, sometimes just having someone to listen is quite nice. So he notices that she's not happy with just him saying nothing. So he tries to feel it out a little bit more, and he realizes that she really just wants to hear a little bit more about him, about, you know, if actually something was going on. You think so too? Yeah, I feel like especially nowadays when not online dating, but like finding your dates through like online through an app or something like that is so popular, and so like two strangers, like complete strangers meet, it ends up sometimes being one side. I don't want to say it's always a girl, but it's always one person who really tries to like keep up the conversation, and one person who only ever talks about themselves. You know what I mean? And so he's like, okay, he gets a hint, he's gonna talk a little bit more, and so he talks about work. Because what happened this week was a lot of work. And so he starts talking about the reparations of the defeated country, what they are trying to do, because they're kind of at a standstill, because the empire, his country, is trying to demand money, like stuff of monetary value, but that defeated country is freaking defeated. Like, they don't have anything to give anymore. And so they're like, even if we tried to give it to you, like the people that we would be squeezing dry would be our people. Like, it's not like the rich people who have the money to give to the country that won. And so there's just like, we can't, there's nothing to give. And so, but the empire, like, they've been at this war for so long, they can't just walk away from the war winning nothing other than just peace. That just looks bad, right? And so they're trying to go back and forth, and it keeps on going back and forth, and he's just really tired about it, right? And so she gives him an idea. Actually, no, before that, she's just like, are you allowed to tell me this? Like, isn't this state secrets? Like, is this okay? Like, she's starting to worry about him because he's a puny little knight. She's worried that he's gonna get into trouble. And he's like, no, this is public enough information, like this is not a secret. So she gives him an idea. How about the defeated country gives them your crown? Like, originally when I first read it, I thought it meant like, oh, like giving control of that country, but no, she actually means like the physical crown. But the thing is that defeated country has a lot of pride. Like, there's no way they're gonna be able to get that defeated country to give the physical crown to the people who won. If they're going to demand that, they're just gonna start another war, and he just finished an 8-year war. And so like his tone of voice, like, he's not mean to her about it, but his tone of voice was just like, oh, that was not a funny joke. I can't remember if the story delves more into politics of end of war reparations and recovery. Still, politics are pretty good. I think it depends. I don't like it when it gets like too nitty-gritty politics, because after a while, like if it's just politics and there's no more of like the romanticy, like I'd rather just read a history book in that case, you know? At least the history books, like it was actually real. And so she's like, no, how about have them give you the crown and you will fix it up for them, or like change it up for them, and then give it back to her like on her coronation day, because she is technically the crown princess, but like I don't think she's had her coronation yet, because all of this happened, like she became the crown princess because she ended up not defecting, but she supported the empire even though she was from that defeated country. And so the female lead is like, well, what if you just say, oh, you take it, you change up the crown, like you refurbish it for them and hand it back for their coronation. So in essence, you're not taking away something that's so valuable to them, but they're also having to hand over the crown, and people know the meaning of that. So then like that'll be also a big hit to their pride. And he's like, that's actually a really good idea. And so eventually they finish up on their day and he goes back to work. Gotta have a well-married mix of political intrigue and romance, meeting in the morning, date in the evening, right? I like this one because there's enough cute, but there's still some plot. Honestly, I'm fine with stories without plot and just fluff. I like me a good series with a lot of diabetes-inducing scenes. And so he goes back to work, and the guildmaster, his friend Kyle, is there. And so Kyle, or he tells the story, or her proposed plan to the guildmaster, and initially the guildmaster's expression and kind of like thoughts about it is kind of the same as what the emperor's thoughts first were, of like, oh, she's planning on just having another war, like that's not gonna happen. And he uses the same arguments she had to convince the guildmaster, and the guildmaster's like, honestly, that's not a bad idea. So you have like the top 2 people in the country agreeing with her plan, and the guildmaster's like, she is such a small fry in such like in a department where she is not utilizing all of her talent. We need someone like that. And so Kyle, my boy, I love how he's such a good whatchamacallit, like wingman for them too. Like he is such a big supporter of the emperor, and he also adores her as well. And because their guild is a secretive guild, right, that really supports the emperor. I think there's like kind of 2 factions in the guild. One is part like the emperor's secret people, and the other part is just like part of like just a secret guild. But or like I think it started off as a secret guild and then became the emperor's. And so the guildmaster's like, it's been so hard trying to hire people, and like honestly, even for like all the other departments, it's been really hard because the emperor's been gone and they've been in this war this whole time. And so you don't want to hire new people and accidentally hire a spy. And so like all these departments have been like in a drought for new workers, right? And so he is asking the emperor's like, do I have free reign to just hire who I think is good? They can hire me, I like jobs. You want to take over my job, Sid? Can you do my job and then I take the pay? I will loan you my chair like 5% of the time. If we come up, if we make this deal. It's really funny in my mind that 5% of the time was initially like 25% of the time. I thought about like for half a second, I'm like, nah, not 25%, 10%. When I opened my mouth, that 10% became 5%. So how's the pay? Is not bad, but you give it to me, right? You give the entirety of the paycheck back to me, okay? Maybe I'll give you like a 1% cut. Maybe like 0.5% cut, actually. I need money to buy games, guys. And so he is full on wanting to recruit her into this secretive guild, the secretive department, because no one else really knows of this department. There is a front of this department in the palace, so there's like an office and whatnot, but no one really knows what that department does. And so they're like, okay, if she agrees, we'll make it look like just like a department transfer. Okay, so it's kind of left at that. Actually, wait, no. The guildmaster actually does talk to her about it, but then she's just like, oh, but that's really working close to the emperor, who's supposed to be a tyrant, and I don't know how the story is going to play out. So maybe keeping like arm's length away will be safer for me. And so she doesn't automatically agree, even though she knows that the pay is gonna be much higher. Hey now, we're not married and sharing funds. I'm taking the job and the money. You can keep the chair like that. It's okay. We don't have to be married for that type of arrangement. 0.5%, huh? Sounds like a good deal, right? I will extend that deal to you as well, Nasa. Ignacio, if you're also still here, I can also extend that deal to you too. So they go on another date, right? And so he has been really tired of like with all this stuff going on, all this planning, talking about reparations, long meetings and what. Heck no! Fine, now so you want it. It's yours. And so he's been tired, and so she can feel that fatigue from him. So she keeps on going like, oh, you know, do you want to cut the date short? Do you need to go back? Like, she's just being considerate of him. But the more considerate that she is of him, her job come to me. You can have the job but not the pay. And so she's just trying to be really considerate, but all he's thinking is, oh, she doesn't want to spend time with me. So he's just getting more and more sad the more she looks worried, the more she tells him to go home, essentially, right? But then when they talk about it a little bit more, he realizes that she's just really worried, and it really touches him. And like he even says her worried look just like touches him so much. Like her gaze felt ticklish. Like even though it wasn't like a physical touch, her concerned gaze made him feel ticklish. I understand you, ML. I think the same probably. And so they what was it? Where was I? Oh, so on another date of theirs, so they go to a rose garden, and it was a rose garden that's close by. Like it's part of the palace, but I think it was part of like the outer palace where like noble ladies and other people often like to go for dates. And they just decided to do it kind of later in the day, so there's a lot less people. And she actually thought it was already closed, but he's like, no, there's a side door for like gardeners and whatnot to go through, because like he was at one point the crown prince's son, so like he knows the ins and out, even though he's been away for so long. And so they go to their rose garden date, and she asks him, do you like roses? And because she's been asking him a lot of things like his preferences or like how his week has been, like he knows that she actually cares about what the answer is. She's not asking just to ask. And so he thinks about it, and he remembers like back then being a child, like how his mom really liked the rose garden, and before she became the crown princess, she would often come here with his dad. But because she became a crown princess, because of security issues, she had to stop coming when it was really crowded. She had to wait when the crowd was gone, when like the garden was like essentially like closed to the public for her to come or to go with his dad. And she was a very kind-hearted crown princess, so she didn't close off the garden to the public. She just went at a later time, and sometimes he would be there with his parents as well. And so he has really fond memories of this garden. And so he just responds to her, I really like it, or I like it. But I think there's a part in the translation that might be a little bit missing. I think the way he might have said it and this is I think in Korean, so he might have just said like choa. I can't speak Korean, so I probably like messed that up a lot. But I think the way he said it almost sounds like he said like he likes her, or just like, you know, romantic things to her. So she starts like, you know, getting palpitations, like she's getting flustered, and he also hears how that sounds. It sounds like he just confessed to her, and like sure, they're going on dates, and sure, they're already showing a lot of interest to each other, but just straight up telling that person I like you is a lot. And so like both of them are super flustered. And so he's just like, oh, I mean, I like the flowers. And she's like, yeah, the flowers. And one person's like, oh yeah, because they're beautiful. And the other person's like, yeah, they smell great. And so they're just freaking out, right? So it gets darker and darker, and eventually it becomes time to leave because like you can barely see the flowers anymore. And so spider lilies are best flower. They gotta plant those in the garden. I don't know. I think with spider lilies, didn't you say that they often are planted near like cemeteries, and so they end up having those like creepy vibes. I don't know if you want a whole garden of just spider lilies. Commit to ML, don't be a coward. You know what you meant. He actually meant the roses. Giggles, me too. And so they end up leaving, but he eventually makes it like one of his goals to put out more lanterns and more magical lights in the garden so that she can enjoy the flowers for longer, because she's never gonna know about it. She might notice that, oh, I can stay here longer, but at that time there's no way she would know. Her being disappointed at having to leave early is the reason why that garden got more lights. And so what was it? There was a little bit more talks at her office about the emperor being a tyrant. The flowers are protectors of the dead. They were just warped as markers of the dead over time. The red ones do. Oh, I think, have you guys watched or like read the manga Holic, like XXX Holic? It's by the creators Clamp, like the group of like female mangaka. And there was like a short, well, not short, like there was like a chapter or like an episode about the spider lilies. I think like was it spider lilies? I want to say it was spider lilies, how like they were underground and then they held onto like the spirit or like someone that was dead. I can't remember if it was hydrangeas or spider lilies. But Holic is so good. It's so creepy, but so good. Like it's the type where I can't watch it too late into the day because then I get scared. And so there's been a lot more talks about the emperor being a tyrant. That previous meeting where like he pulled out the sword becomes a lot more common knowledge, and now it has leaked over to her department. And so she is thinking a lot more about him than she was previously. And she starts thinking about like the OG storyline, because the emperor is, because he is known for being mean, he's also known for not tolerating mistakes, right? Because like everyone makes mistakes, but the emperor is not very tolerant of it. And she was trying to remember the OG story. She was just like, okay, there were a certain amount of people that were close to the emperor, and these people ended up okay, which means there are only, I think, like 3 people left that were never talked about enough, because she knows one of them ends up either dying or something happens to that person because they made a mistake. And she's just like, okay, process of elimination, there's only 3 people that this could happen to, and that the person that she thinks is the knight, her not yet boyfriend, is one of those 3 people. So she's like, there's a 33% chance that he's going to come into harm because of the emperor. Oh, he's all in her head. She likes him. She really likes him, because it's one thing to like be giggly and be flustered, but like she's straight up thinking how to protect this guy. Like it's more than just like a fleeting like, you know? I don't know why I said it like that. How should I say it now? Like, ooh, he's on her head. She likes. And so when they go onto one of their other dates, like the way she talks about the emperor, it really shows that she does not see him in a really good light. Because in their next date, he comes, and I don't think he ends up coming late, but because she's been so worried about him like not doing his duties properly or making a mistake, when he comes, she's like, oh, you know, you finished all your work before coming here, right? You said it exactly how I said it. I'm just reading your head, that tone of the voice in your head. And so at that date, before coming to the date, actually, there was something that he had to do as the emperor, because the temple, like the religious faction in this book is not the greatest, right? There's a lot of corruption everywhere, but definitely a lot of corruption within the temple as well. Why does my tongue keep on like it keeps on sticking out for no reason? And so the temple is known to like take donations, and when they take donations, they will take 50% of it because that is God's property, and then the other 50% of it they will actually use for charity. And so when the emperor was at war, he didn't have enough personnel, he didn't have enough resources to actually, you know, help and do charity, because like it's a war-torn country, right? So people are suffering, but he just didn't have the ability to actually take care of that part. But he had the money, he has wealth, is not an issue for him, right? Not surprising that temples are corrupt. Look at what's going on in Utah. Ooh, that's opening up a can of worms. And so he knew that they would skim off like 50% of what he gave, but that is the only option that he had. He has the money for it, so that's what he had to do. And so a lot of the people in the country, even though they're super, super religious, like they believe in the god or goddess, I think it's like goddess like Minos or something like that, even though they believe in that god, they're kind of a little bit more lukewarm to the temple, because the temple has not been doing much for the people, right? But the thing is that because they are still so religious, like he can't just not, you know, pay respects to the temple, because then the people would actually truly get angry at him. And so there was this this procession, this thing that the temple wanted to do to kind of like honor the fallen soldiers, honor the dead. And the thing is that during wartime, I think the emperor wanted something similar, but the temple, because the temple is not of a particular nation, the temple is its own entity, they didn't know who was gonna win, so they didn't want to do this in joint with the empire, because then it looks like they're supporting the empire, right? And so they didn't do it. But now that the empire has won, they're like, well, we should do it for the dead, for the soldiers, for the fallen soldiers. And he's like, well, if they made their made it known that they want to do that, he can't, like politically, he can't say that he won't do it. And so the temple on their own decided when and where and how it was gonna happen. Like there was part like old tradition, whereas the emperor, who is the descendant of the god slash goddess, they are part what's the right word, like not just royalty, but they're part divine, right? And so they told him, part of the tradition was he had to grab like a torch from one old sacred temple and bring it to like another, almost like Olympic style, right? Carrying the torch. And it was gonna be a really, really, really long walk. And he wasn't planning on doing it on that day, because guess what? He has a date with her. And so I think like part way through, or like before it started, he swapped out with the true knight, the true Everett Rojas, that he is impersonating in front of her. He swapped it with him and had him walk to the temple. The thing is that the temple people know what the emperor looks like, and so once he gets to the temple people are gonna be pissed, but they're not gonna say anything because they can't say anything, right? Divine authority is neat to see in stories, but date is more important, of course. She's more important. And see, that's what I love about him. Like he got his priorities right. Like, of course, when he has to go to his meetings, he does his work properly. He doesn't ditch work, but he also doesn't ditch her. That's the thing. I hate it when like male leads are like, my job is too important, I'm not gonna be able to make any time for you. It's like, make time. Make time. If you think it's more important, or if you think it's important enough, make time. And so when she's just like, okay, I hope you did all your work before you came here, he looked a little guilty, and he's like, I did. Which was kind of a lie. And I think she might have caught that on too. She's like, why'd you come back? He's like, I had business at the palace, I had something I had to do here. He just doesn't say it. His business was with her. And so more and more, she's like, how am I going to tell him to watch out? Because I can't just say I'm part of the future, right? So she's like, how do I warn him to be careful not to make a careless mistake that might cost him his life? And so she kind of just probes a little bit more of a, if you have trouble, come to me. Like, please, like, if you have trouble, please don't turn to alcohol. And like, during war and whatnot, he knew the follies of alcohol, so he would never. And he's just like, I don't know what she's talking about. She's business. She's all business right now. Like, she is worried for his life. And so she's just like, well, okay, the emperor, I've heard that he's kind of prickly. I don't want you to make a mistake that could cost you. And she just told him in front of the actual emperor that he'd be prickly. And all of a sudden, from like talking with her, he just gets really sad. Not angry, not like indignant, not irritated. He's just a sad boy, which is so interesting to see, because from like being like a tyrant at war in front of her, he'd just be a sad puppy. Like this person that this person that he really likes does not like him at all. And so eventually he, they finish the date and he goes back to work and the guild master is there. In her eyes, he just started getting really sad because she's like, oh, he's a knight. He's probably trained to be very, very loyal. So the way she was talking about the emperor and saying that he's prickly and that, he might not tolerate mistakes and whatnot, as a knight, he probably was not appreciative of her bad-mouthing his master, essentially. So she's just like, how do I go about this? How do I protect him? To be aged, I'd be just straight up, I have business back at the palace, I miss you and had to fix that. This puppy that's like the shyest thing in the world, there's no way. If you ever date anyone, Sin, I need to hear love stories. I need to hear what you end up saying. I need to hear how you riz up your partner, because it sounds like it's gonna be real juicy. And so the emperor talks to the guild master and he's like, how I can't keep on hiding my identity from her. Like, eventually one day she's gonna find out, because during that date when she was thinking of how to confront him, how to tell him to be careful, there was a lot of times where she was just contemplating how to do this. And so she was kind of quiet and kind of serious on her own. He's thinking, oh, she's so quiet. She's a really smart lady. Does she know that he's already the emperor? Is this silence her way of giving him an opening to fess up? It ended up not. But now it's in his head that he needs to let her know that he's the emperor. I can't flirt to save my life. I'm like romance level -100. If you're telling someone, I have business back at the palace, I missed you and had to fix that, how is that -100? That's like +100. That's like a +1,000. That's like infinity. That's so high. I don't think I'd be able to say that just thinking about it. It's so funny. Like, part of stories, I eat it up in real life. I would cringe so hard. Not hearing it is cringe, but like my toes and my fingers just curl backwards just thinking of these things and saying it to other people. I'm fine with having it said to me, but I just can't. I can't. That's just honesty. Well, I think there's like a lot of like shoujo manga or like just like fluffy stories in general where they say the natural is the scariest. So if you don't think you're flirting and you're just naturally saying things like out of honesty or whatever, that's always the strongest person there, the strongest flirt. It's okay, you just need to find another -100. 2 negatives become a positive. I mean, if you multiply them, they sure do. Because what was it? If you ever watch like Orin High School Host Club, or if you ever read it, I think like the main girl, Haruhi, I think she was known as the natural. Like, she would just naturally comment people because like they're pretty, they're whatever. But that natural honesty is what gets people. Where was I? And so, kiss, fall in love. Oh, I love. what was it? Furuba, like Fruits Basket, ended up with like completing the whole story in like the anime. Like there's like the new 2-season anime. I've been hoping and wishing for Ouran High School to do the same too, but I don't know if it would. I remember seeing a crack shit with Roderick Heffley. Who's Roderick Heffley? Did I not get far enough into the story for that? Let me see. Roderick Heffley. Huh? Wait, no, that's not even like an anime character. That's like a guy? Oh my gosh, what story? Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Dang, from like completely like 2 different stories. Is it older brother from Diary of a Wimpy Kid? I never got into that, honestly, because there's a movie and a book, right? Definitely not. I didn't read that as a kid, but did not also follow the movie either. And so where was I with the story? Oh, so he was talking to Kyle, the guild master, about telling her, right? And so the guild master actually really likes her. And the other part of it is like for like noblemen of this period, free love is not unknown, right? Noblemen will date commoners, but they won't actually tell the commoner that they're a nobleman, because eventually they're going to break up. Why interfere with that commoner's life? Like, why embroil them into whatever? And so you just keep it a secret, and when you part ways, you part ways. And so he asked, like, if he is thinking of actually fessing up that he's the emperor, is he thinking of one day making her his empress? Because if he does, like, it's not a problem. Like, they kind of talked about like her backstory already with like her bloodline and whatnot. Like, even though she's kind of a commoner, she actually does have like no blood in her too. And so the guild master's like, you know what, if you want something long term with her, don't tell her now. She is the type to believe what she sees and not what she hears. Right now, all she's heard of is the emperor being a tyrant. And like, you guys are kind of new, right? You guys have only gone on a few dates with each other. You guys aren't like a solid item either. And so if you tell her that you're an emperor, she wants a simple life. She's gonna hightail out of here. So you can't tell her. It's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. So get to know her more. Let her know who you are as a person. And when she finds out that you're an emperor, well, you know what? It's kind of too late. So she'll probably just stick around with you. But if you tell her now and she breaks up with you, that's it. That's the end. Because she's a pretty lady and she's talented. She's smart. Like, and she's of at marriageable age, right? Base guildmaster, show her, don't tell her. I don't know. As a girl, I don't know if I'd be pissed or not. Because like, also, I don't think I would want to date or like marry an emperor. Again, that's a lot of work and a lot of danger too. Especially since like if you don't really know the guy, and I thought he was a tyrant, I would hightail out of there so fast. And so with her being at marriage age, she could so easily find someone. Like, people will know that she's a catch. She will find someone. And as the guild master is saying that, the emperor just glares at him as if he is the person, as if the guild master is the person that she's going to marry. And he's glaring daggers at this guy. But this guy, he doesn't stop. He's like, yeah, she'll have a 2-story house, rabbit-like cute children, and a hubby. And the emperor just cannot take even the thought of her marrying someone that's not him. And so he agrees. He's not gonna say anything yet. He's gonna still be Everett Rojas to her. And so fast forward, she ends up deciding that she's gonna take up that job. You know how the guild master was recruiting her previously and she was kind of questioning it? She's like, well, I don't know who out of these 3 people close to the emperor is going to be the one that ends up making a mistake and like dying for it. I need insider information. The only way I can get insider information is if I become an insider. How best to do that? The best way is to be part of them. And so she decides this in the middle of the night, well, maybe not in the middle of the night, but it's getting late out there. Like, it's starting to get dark. And she hightails it to that guildmaster's cafe. And as she opens the door, someone is opening it towards her too and almost knocks her. And the person who does that is the emperor. And as the emperor is leaving, he, like, the guildmaster's also there, was about to say something like, "Your Majesty," but he stops. He only says, "Your Maj," and ends up changing what he says to something else. So she doesn't catch on that that is actually His Majesty. And so she's just like, "Oh, I have something to talk about to so-and-so." And the guildmaster's like, "Oh yeah, the emperor," or like Everett, he's on his way back to the palace. And so the emperor ends up getting kicked out of the cafe. And so she ends up sitting down at one of the tables with the guildmaster. The guildmaster brings her out coffee. It's finally not poison-like tasting. And the guildmaster's kind of just talking. He's just like, it's probably fine, right? Since we're in front of a big window, or like, I think he might have thought that, but definitely they were in front of a big window. And he's also like, maybe we should do this with the door open. Exactly, gotta show her his real self at a fair level compared to his rumors, then let her decide if she wants him or not, then accept her choices completely. Yeah, honestly, if I were her, I think that might be the only way to reel me in, because I think I might still be pissed, but me being upset and angry is like it. Even though I'm angry, I might still give him a chance. I might still stay with him. But if he tells me too early, I'd be gone. I'd run away so fast. And so as they're talking, the guildmaster's like, "Maybe I should keep the door open." She's like, "Well, isn't this like a secret kind of society? Like, I mean, he can put up, like, use magic to do some soundproofing, or I guess they can talk in like hushed voices, but like, why do they need to open the door?" But like, mind you, for like a noble woman, if she was a noble woman, like, they always have escorts. Like, you're not supposed to be alone with a grown man. Like, as an adult woman, you can't be alone with someone. You have to have someone there. And if you can't, well, you have to find ways to make sure that you appear innocent, like nothing happened. He should just issue an imperial decree and force her to marry him. Then he will get her body, he will have her physically, but he won't have her heart. Once you completely strip away the right to make decisions for herself like that, I think he would lose her entirely. She is a very smart and like independent type of girl, so I think that would backfire 100%. And so it turns out the emperor was actually nearby. He never left back to the palace. He was just like eyeing them the whole time. And so they talk about logistics of how this would end up working, how they would appear to make her leave her current job, and she would, I think, get like 5 times the pay that she got now. And on top of that, she'll have like hazard pay. Like, if she ends up needing to do anything dangerous, they'll increase her pay for that as well. And so she's just like, dang, this is a really good gig. And like, she wants to get more information, but she has to like sign like a magical contract, essentially like an NDA. And then she does that. And after that, "Wait, Master Kyle, I'm available to hire too, please. Do you want like 3, 4, 5 jobs? How many jobs do you want, Sin?" And so they figure out the logistics, right? And as that's happening though, there's this artifact that the guildmaster has on his wrist, and it flashes. And she knows, based off of like the OG storyline, that it's an artifact. It's not a watch, or not just a watch, it's an artifact. And what happens is there's magic, and when you activate it, there's teleportation magic where they can teleport to the exact coordinates, for safety purposes. So in the OG story, the emperor had given that to the saintess for her safety. So it's flashing, and initially it flashes just a little bit, and then like it's incessant, right? And so after they sign the contract for her to work, enough to be rich or just take care of myself and others, who knows? Enough to take care of the lazy villains. And so after they finish signing the contract, he's like, okay, now off you go. And she's just like, okay, you were trying to woo me to become one of your workers. Is it now that I've signed the contract, it's like a fish that's been caught, and so now you don't care anymore? Is that what it is? Like, is this how you treat your workers? And you were only nice to me just because you wanted me to work with you? Enough to take care of a lazy villainess. Excellent goal to strive for. This villainess eats a lot. Just remember that this villainess eats a lot, and likes pretty things, and likes a lot of games, and her rent do be a little high. And so she was just like, why are you so mean all of a sudden? Like, you don't care all of a sudden. And like the artifact keeps on like flashing incessantly. He's like, it is an emergency. Like, my cafe might not exist anymore. This cafe might be like blown up if I don't respond to this. But she knows that this artifact is the Emperor's. And so in the middle of the night, like, this is after hours, this is after work, like, why is the Emperor like calling for him so incessantly, like so much? Like, is this guy just being overworked? Like, she already didn't have good feelings about the Emperor, and here she is seeing how overworked the Guildmaster is. And so the Guildmaster is trying to like, oh wait, no, I can't have her think bad things about the Emperor. And so he's just like, oh, this is a special scenario, very special circumstances. This doesn't happen often. And so she ends up leaving the cafe. But it's kind of around that time. Gonna lurk for a bit, got some emergency work stuff. Oh no, I hope it's not too much work. I hope you get it done quickly. And I think I might be wrapping up stream soon too. Maybe in the next 10ish minutes or so. And so she is trying to go home. Roommates for rent, and you're gonna have my share of food since I eat little. I eat a lot, so much. I just got here. Oh no. I'm happy you're here though, Vivid. And so she is going to walk home, but I don't know, as not girls, I don't know if you guys are all guys or like masculine presenting. Jealousy from the Emperor is making him look worse. I don't know, it'd be kind of cute for me. Again, only in fiction. No, well, not really. I just wanted to say hi and good night. Oh, hey, good night. Good night. And so there comes a certain time around like a little bit later than dusk where the light starts getting kind of low and it starts getting like nighttime. Around that time to like night is when I start getting a little bit worried about walking at night, right? Like, even if you know an area is safe, like you still, like, it just doesn't feel comfortable, right? And I think this is around the same time when she's about to go home. Like, it's not midnight, it's like 2 a.m. or something. But like, she's kind of worried about going home, and as she exits, who does she see but the Emperor? And she's just like, I thought you had to head back to the palace. I think he actually tells her he just came back for her to walk her back, but he actually never left. So he's just like, I just took care of it quick and came back. And she's like, did you come back to walk me? He's just like, it was for you. But for me, there was this one time, it was in Japan actually, because honestly, a lot of places in the US, or at least where I live, I don't think there's any place that is really like safe to walk. Sometimes for like lunch, I might like walk out for lunch, but like I'm really like scanning my surroundings and whatnot. It's really not safe. But in Japan, for the most part, especially like during the day, I felt safe walking around everywhere. But there's this one time, my friend and I had just gone in from Tokyo to Kyoto. We just checked in. It was getting late out. We didn't know where to eat yet because we hadn't planned in advance where we had wanted to eat. So we also had to spend time in our hotel room kind of checking out the places nearby and seeing what we wanted to eat. And so by the time we had eaten and walked back, like, I know that area is kind of a touristy area and it's safe, but there were these few businessmen that were walking, like kind of like uncle age, like 50-ish, maybe like even 60 years old. And they were walking in like our general direction as well. And like, when I tell you, I was so nervous. Like, I know it's generally safe there, but like, even knowing that, I was still so nervous. My name means sun's power, yet I'm all in for the night, dangers aside. Night in Japan sounds like it's pretty neat to explore, drunkards aside. And that's the thing, like, I think we were heading back around like 9 p.m. or maybe even a little bit later than that. And from afar, I couldn't tell if they were drunk or not, because like I think like drinking after work is like a big part, well, maybe not a big part, but like I think there's like a cultural thing where like you hang out with your coworkers and you go drinking, and I don't trust people who have been drinking, like especially strangers. And so like I was very nervous about it. So like just like her being like nervous walking home alone, even though she knows that path is safe and that path she's taken so many times before, like I totally understand it. And so they eventually go back home, or go to her home, and it's so funny because like for the most part on most of their dates, oftentimes like they don't want to reach back to her house, her apartment, right? Because then they have to separate ways. But there's like this one time where like I can't remember what they were talking about, and she was just like so flustered, so nervous that she was just like, I need to get home. And so like he was sad that they saw her green roof, that they're already getting close to her house, but for her, she was like, heck yeah, finally I'm back home. But we're going to stop the story here, and we'll save the rest till next time. I don't think this novel is completely translated yet. I think there's like 200 chapters. I think where I stopped today is around like chapter 50, and I've read up to like chapter 70-ish. I don't know with the rate of how fast the translators are. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to continue with the story time, but I'm partly doing the story time for my own because just recounting the story is so cute. So this part is a little bit more plot heavy, but the next part is where I was like a creepy old uncle giggling just as I got a slice of something to look forward to tomorrow. What's that word? I don't think I've ever seen that word before. I don't know a lot of words, and this is not one. Oh, wait, no, the cheesecake. Oh my gosh, and the picture that you sent me. It looks so good. Like I've been really wanting sweets, and like the fruit, like I really love fruit. Honestly, if I can say full, just I sent it to you. Well, it didn't come onto my taste buds. Like I couldn't bring it onto my taste buds. It's different. And like I love me fruit. Honestly, if I could get full and stay full from fruit, I would eat nothing but fruit. But like I also have quite the sweet tooth as well. I just got here thanks to the algo man. Oh no! Weirdo. Who's the weirdo? But I don't think I've seen you before. I don't know if I can say it correctly. Hua Yu Hao. I don't know. That sounds Chinese, but I don't know the whatchamacallit. Oh my gosh. Like the Yisheng, the Arsheng, like you know the Dehons. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. So sorry if I'm messing up with your name. Sorry. Fruits are pretty great. Most of what I eat and keeps me full. What fruit are you eating that keeps you full? I eat like a whole like pound of something, and like an hour later I feel like I pee out all the water, and then I'm hungry all over again. Honestly, like after stream, I'm probably gonna finish up the bag of lychees because they're so good. And part of the reason why I can't stream, I think I streamed a lot more, not the week before, but the week before that. The reason why I can't stream a lot this week is my sister's kidnapping me. I think she called me up one day and she's like, we're going to mommy's and daddy's, we're going home. I'm like, what? She's like, we're going home on this day, I'm gonna pick you up at this time, we're not gonna head back to a certain day. Avocado 100%. Oh, I guess that's true, especially since like avocado has like the fat content. That's true, but like how much avocado can you eat? I'll send you a fruit dish recipe sometime. Should be filling, maybe. I've heard some people do like jackfruit, like barbecue jackfruit, and I do sometimes have to go vegetarian. And I've always wanted to try it. I've heard people say it tastes like exactly like actual pulled pork. I love fruit, but I don't like avocado. Bleh. Avocados are so yummy though. I used to not be a big fan of avocado. The way my family eats it actually is they just sprinkle sugar, and I learned if you put enough sugar on something, it'll taste good. So it's kind of just like a sweet cream. So that's how I first started eating avocados, and then when I was a little bit older, I discovered guacamole. Boy, is that so good, but why are avocados so expensive? Like, honestly, like with a chip, I'll load it up with as much guacamole as like the weight a chip can handle before it cracks. I'll load it all up and like eat like a whole bowl of guac on my own. So yummy. Avocado is fine. Don't eat it a lot though. Oh, why? Grow it on your own. Do you not remember a certain villainess might have a black thumb? And other than like cilantro and green onion, nothing else will grow. Even with the cilantro and the green onion, honestly, I was kind of surprised it survived. Actually, wait, no, I've also grown basil before too. But like, I make one pesto dish and like all the basil's gone. Would you also like to send me some avocados? You're a very resourceful person. I can make you work an extra job or try to persuade you to do it. I can get avocados from you. Let's see if I can make you become my butler for free. So what was I even talking about? What's with that look? What's with that look? Is that a no? Is that a no? But I think I'll end up ending stream soon, because otherwise we're gonna end up like last time and I'm gonna end up telling like 10 stories before we end stream. So, free? Crazy? What do you mean crazy? It's not crazy, it's like, think of it like charity. Okay, I want to, I'm hungry. I need to eat more lychee, so I'm gonna be going. I might post a poll later today, if I remember it. Miss the story time, guess I'll try to catch it later. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time too. So I was debating, and I'll put up a poll for this either today or tomorrow. Oh wait, no, it'll have to be today because my next stream is gonna be tomorrow. If we should end up doing the Final Fantasy VII for tomorrow's stream instead of Fields of Mystria, because if I can only guarantee that I'm gonna stream tomorrow and on Sunday. I don't know next week's schedule just yet. Next week's schedule might kind of be something similar where like I might give you guys, I don't know, maybe like a few hours head notice before I stream, kind of like a guerrilla stream again. And so if that's the case, I might want to do 2 of the Final Fantasy streams this week, just so we can get more into the storyline. Otherwise, we're gonna just learn mechanics of how to like fight and then like in stream, and I feel like that's gonna be kind of boring. So I want to be able to stream a little bit more so that we can get the storyline a little bit more too. So I'll maybe I'll post the poll after this. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that because otherwise I know I'm gonna forget. So anywho, I hope you guys have a good night. Thank you for joining me again. Night night, Miss Leanne. Should be fun any way you approach. Thank you. 2 hours to get past tutorial. What if I'm a slow walker? What if I die 10 times in the tutorial? You never know. Alright, I'm back. What shenanigans did I miss? I'm ending stream. But welcome back. What if 3 hours? 3 hours! Wait, what time was I planning on starting tomorrow? Because I do have something earlier in the day, so I can't start earlier than that. So let me see if I can pull up my schedule. You would think with me being the person who posts the schedule, I would know my schedule, but I don't. Let me see. Okay, so I was supposed to start at 3. Oh gosh, okay. I think, so I'm leaving to go to my parents later that evening, so I think I might have to leave around 5:30, 5 to 5:30. So I think 2 to 2.5 hours at most on Friday. On Sunday is when I come back home. Part of me wish I was able to stream when I go to my parents' house, but you do not want me doing it on my laptop. It would sound like a rocket taking off, honestly. 3 hours total per tutorial? Yeah, and what of it? What if it becomes 3 hours? It's okay, man. We'll catch you whenever you're on. Yeah. So I think tomorrow I'll still tentatively do it at 3 o'clock or start stream at 3 o'clock. If I somehow get out earlier from whatever I need to do in the morning, I will start stream early. Maybe by like, I can see maybe half an hour earlier, but I can't guarantee it, so I'm not gonna edit my schedule. So just FYI, might be around 2:30 Pacific time that I start. And then on Sunday, because that's when I'm coming back, we usually get in later in the day, so I think 7 p.m. is probably the safest to say. If I end up being a little bit later, at least on the waiting room, I'll at least message you guys to kind of give a heads up of when it actually might start. But on Sunday, I hope you guys don't work or have school on Monday, because I can go a lot longer on Sunday than any other day. And then I'll figure out Monday about if I can stream that day. Make sure you're well prepared and packed before you even think of starting stream, or you'll be scrambling 100%. I'm already thinking of packing like maybe tonight or like early tomorrow, because my sister is the worst when it comes to giving me an estimate on like how long it takes. Okay, I know no story time. This is technically not story time. This is me complaining, and so it's different. Okay, it's different. And so she will tell me, and this was like from years ago, before she even had kids, she will tell me, oh hey, you know, we're gonna get to your apartment within half an hour, or like within like an hour to pick you up. So I'm like, okay, an hour. If she says an hour, I'm like, okay, maybe like plus minus a few minutes, like maybe 45 minutes, right? And so I'm like, I will be done within 45 minutes. And I would be playing Final Fantasy 14, and I would go into a dungeon with some strangers, and then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, she's like, we're here. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like halfway through a dungeon. What do you mean? And like, these are strangers. Like, I know people will just like log off and like not say anything, but I have anxiety about stuff like that. Of course, just a complaint. Thank you. We're on the same page. Who you laughing at, NASA? Who you laughing at? And so I'm like, wait, can you just give me like, I think I'm already like over halfway through this dungeon, like just give me a little bit more time. She's like, we can't, you know, your brother-in-law, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, we need to go now. And so my stress goes through the roof, and I'm trying to hustle. I think I might have had to end up disconnecting and just like logging off, which like I felt so bad about. And then there's another time where like, okay, this was actually recently. I've been wanting to do like watercolors and like painting, and there's this like tutorial, this class that I bought, and you can just watch at any time, but I don't want to watch like 5 minutes of a video and then have to come back and not remember where I was at, what I was doing. So I just wanted to finish a portion at a time. And so she's like, oh yeah, you know, I'll be here in like 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, 10 minutes plus minus a little, so she'll be here really soon. I'm not gonna start something else. And so I'm like kind of scrolling, kind of not doing anything, and kind of just waiting. And then half an hour goes by, and I'm like, where are you? She's like, oh, I had to take a detour. Oh, I thought it was gonna be 10 minutes, but it's actually much farther than that. She's so bad at it. Sister hustled you out of the game, yeah. And then like I'll be sitting there doing like absolutely nothing, just twiddling my thumbs. She's stealing your games. She is. She's got terrible sense of time, and the thing is that my brother-in-law isn't much better, because like my brother-in-law is usually like the designated driver for like everything. If we go on a long trip, it's him. If we're going anywhere and he's there, he's driving, and like he's really good at the driving and really good at like spatial awareness and whatnot, right? Tell me why his sense of time is all so crap. Like I think recently when I had like issues with my car, he was supposed to drive me to the dealership, right? So he's like, okay, let's call it 2 o'clock. So I texted him around 12 or 1 to kind of half remind him, half just tell him like, oh, hey, if you're on your way, let me know. And so he says 2 o'clock, right? 2 o'clock comes, I'm like, yeah, just text or call me just in case I don't hear my phone buzzing. He's like, okay. 2:30 rolls around, like, oh, I guess it's still 2 o'clock. And then at 3 o'clock, he's like, oh, I need to go to this thing to like pick up a check. I need to do XYZ. So he doesn't freaking come till like 4:30. So like for like 2.5 hours, I was doing like absolutely nothing. And like, he saved me like a $30 Uber ride. So I don't want to be ungrateful, but I also did nothing for like 2.5 hours. She honestly knows, and she's just messing with you. Honestly, no, because like I know her enough. She's really, really bad. Like, even like spatial awareness, or like when I ask her like, oh, hey, I need to go to this place. How long do you think it's gonna take me? She'll say like 5 minutes. And then eventually, if I have time to check, I find out it's either like 20 minutes or like it's walking distance, not even 5 minutes. He hits 160 on the road. Me too, brother. 160 kilometers? You have great patience. I'd be out the door after 5 minutes miss time. I really don't want to spend on Uber. I hate, like, unless I'm traveling, I really hate spending on Uber. Like, the last time I spent on Uber... Okay, I guess this is more story time. Just one more story. I swear, every time it gets me. Okay, so... the last time I had to pay for an Uber was I had visited my sister, and I have a set of keys for her, but like you can lock the door from the inside. I was trying to take things out into my car because I had stayed over that night, so I had a lot of crap with me, and so I was trying to grab the food that my mom had prepared for me and grab my luggage, just a lot of things. She keeps going, I feel like by now you should know what I do. Bad Uber experience? No, I'm just cheap. I can afford it, but like, it's so expensive for like no reason. I mean, okay, I get the reason people need to make a living, but like, it's so much. Like a 5-10 minute ride being like $30, like, or like $20 is too much. I mean, I drive a car, so I wouldn't need a ride still. I mean, I drive too, but so the story is, I put everything into my car and I grab my bag and I walk out. The thing was that I thought I had put my keys into my bag. I did not. And you know how I told you can lock it from the inside? Well, I locked it from the inside, so I couldn't go back in. I had my purse, I had my phone, I had everything except for my keys. So I couldn't go back into her house, but I also could not drive because I had no keys. And so I was just standing outside her house, and I give my brother-in-law a call because I think he had just left for work that day. He had like, I think he did like half day work from home and half day go to work, and so he had just gone. And so I'm like, what if he's close enough that he can come back and open the door for me? Ouch is right. But he had just gone to work because I was kind of like half asleep. Like I was sleeping in like a lot. Like I think I didn't get out of bed. Like I think I woke up at 10 and then rolled around in bed till like 12 or 1. And I couldn't guesstimate how long he had left for. And so I thought he had just gone, but no, he had gone like half an hour ago, and it takes him around half an hour, 40 minutes to get from work to his house if the traffic is bad. Gotta buy yourself a lock hook for these situations. Lets you unlock locked car doors. Wait, what? I'll have to look into that. Oh wait, isn't that just like breaking into your own car? Is that the thing you're talking about? Isn't that kind of like a big gadget? Like, I don't, even though my tote bag is pretty big, I don't know if it'll fit. So he's like, oh no, I just got to work. Like, I don't think I can leave, because then driving back to his house would be like another 30 minutes, and then letting me in, and then driving back to work would be another 30 minutes. That's a whole hour. So he can't just miss like an hour of work all of a sudden. And so I'm like, it's okay. Yeah, as in like it's a big gadget.
So I'm like, no, don't worry about it. Like, it was my fault. I wasn't gonna make my fault his problem. It's my problem. So I at least had my phone. So I had to Uber from their house to like a close by boba shop, because I remember that boba shop being quite nice actually. And I had my laptop. Or actually, no, I didn't even have my laptop. I only had my phone with me. I didn't even have a charger. I didn't even have a phone charger. And so I got an Uber, went to that boba shop because it was close by enough to their home that I'm like, okay, when he comes or like goes back home, he can at least like on the way pick me up and then drop me back off at his house, or like just go back home together, right? And so I was there for a good 4 or 5 hours. No, probably, okay, 6 hours feels like a lot. Maybe it wasn't 6 hours, but I feel like I was there for at least like 5 hours. Not particularly big. It's kind of bendy too. But yeah, car thieves use it too. Auto mechanics too. I mean, I feel like I look innocent, so it's probably fine. But I don't want to somehow be caught with that. And people are like, so why do you have that? And so I spent at least like 5 to 6 hours there just with my phone. Thank God I actually had my wallet. The only thing I did not have was my keys. Loitering in the boba shop. I bought a lot of things. So I bought like a little sticky rice like dessert. I bought 2 drinks. So like I was there for like, I want to say it was at least 5 hours, but I at least bought a lot of things. The annoying part though was I didn't even have my computer with me. I was trying to do like not quite work stuff, but this was pre-debut, and actually if you look back into my Twitter account and you look back into one of the tweets that say that, oh, I am prepping for debut and it's gonna be close, like it wasn't when I had a time. I think it was like February or something. That was from the boba shop from when I got locked out. How many drinks could this shorty drink? I'd say 5 drinks every hour. I don't know. I might crump first from either caffeine overdose or drinking so much fluid that doesn't have any salt that I just drive my salt levels down. All the boba. I like boba, but I think I usually like the drink more than the boba. So a lot of the times actually I don't even order the boba. I just order the drink itself, because if there's no boba, there's extra volume for the drink. So I spent a lot of time there. I don't know if you guys know or have heard of VGen. It is a website where a lot of YouTubers commission art. I scrolled a lot there, did a lot of TikTok, watched a lot of shorts, watched a lot of videos. Wait, Patrick, no, it was only 2. It was only 2. It was I know for sure there was a matcha, and I can't remember if it was a milk tea or a regular tea, like a fruity tea. I want to say it was a milk tea, because one of their milk teas is like my favorite. Like when I went to Taiwan, I think one of the teas is like a specialty of Taiwan. I remembered going to Taiwan, trying to track down that tree. Track down that tea, but couldn't find it, because even though it's a specialty of Taiwan, it's not one of the most popular ones from Taiwan. Yeah, VGen is fun. It's where my money goes so much these days. I only have like a couple of commissions that I'm waiting for at this point, and so I'm like itching to commission more, because just like the waiting for it, knowing something new is gonna come. It's exciting. It's like not a lottery per se, but it feels like it. So spent like 5 hours there until my brother-in-law came by, picked me up. That was the last time I Ubered. And before that, the last time I had locked myself out of their house, because this was not the first time. This is not the first time. The last time I had did it was when I was still living with them. They had a dog. They asked me to feed their dog for them. And this doesn't count as a second story. This counts as a piggyback off of the other story, okay? Gotta get myself in VGen though. It's so nice, because like I know some people don't like it, because obviously VGen also has to take a cut out of the like whatever gets paid, because obviously they need money to keep the site up and pay people and make a profit. But at least for someone who's doing the commissioning, it's nice, and it feels a little bit safer than kind of just going on like Twitter and then just like DMing people. A second time, Yeah. This was actually the first time I ever got locked out of their house, which is why the second time gave me like PTSD flashbacks. Miss Lan, you gotta be careful around things that get locked. I know. You would think after the first time, technically between the first time and the second time, it was like half a decade. It was like a good 5 years. Maybe. Probably. Possibly. But the previous airhead activities, see, at work, I'm a very functional, high-functioning even person. Outside of work is a very different matter, okay? No worries, Lamb. We do love hearing you, yeah. Plus the stories are very entertaining. I'm glad you're entertained. So the first time it happened, I was actually still in school and I was still living with them. My sister and my brother-in-law were really nice, because my sister actually had offered to pay for wherever I lived when I was still a student, and like she wouldn't even ask for the money back. Like she would just pay my rent. But then my brother-in-law, like they were getting married, and he's like, well, I have extra rooms. Does she just want to live with us? So like they didn't pressure me into it, but I also didn't want my sister to just be like losing like so much money every month because of me. So I decided to move in. We didn't like reno my room, but we did like give it like a fresh layer, fresh coat of paint, and like just spruced it up a little bit. So at least like when I left his house, that room was a lot nicer than what I had started off with. 5 years, 5 months? No, 5 years as in half a decade. And so they had gone somewhere. I think they were visiting someone up in like a different city, like just like a few hours away, or like they were heading back home. I can't remember why. Or I think they weren't gonna come home till really late that day, and they didn't have like a dog feeder, and so their dog is kind of an outside dog that spends most of their time in the outside. I don't own pets, so I don't know if that's normal or not. I guess that's how he grew up, having pets. And so they asked me to put out food for the dog. Is this the cutest factor or gap moe? Competent businesswoman trying her best woman? Is it gap moe? I don't know. It just feels depressing and pathetic, honestly. So, again, the lock can lock from the inside, and I had worried about locking myself because I didn't want the dog to like run in and then get their home messy. So I made sure, like I tested the doorknob. So I unlocked it, checked the doorknob, and I could have sworn it turned. I closed the door, I fed the dog, I turned around, I turned the doorknob, and it wouldn't turn. It wouldn't move. But I had my phone on me. Thank God I actually had my phone on me. So true. You think there's gap moe too. So I couldn't go back in, but I had my phone and I called my sister, and she was also with my brother-in-law. I'm like, so when are you guys gonna get home? They're like, probably like an hour and a half. Why? And I'm like, I'm locked out. Gotta learn to lockpick for these situations. Trust me, that's what I was thinking at that time too. And their dog was being like very, very rambunctious. Again, and only 5'1.5", and at that time the dog, because it was still like a new pup, wasn't well trained yet, and so it kept on trying to jump on me, and like being 5'1.5", like if it jumps up, like paws up on me, like it's not 5'1.5", but like it gets pretty tall. And so like I'm not getting attacked, but like the dog was very hyper. And so I called them up and they're like, there's a spare key. I'm like, that's beautiful. Where's the spare key? Because I am in their backyard and the backyard is locked up. There's a gate to that backyard. And so they say, okay, you have to find the key to get out of the backyard. And after you get out of the backyard, you have to go into this other yard, and then that key should work for that yard. Once you get into that yard, there's this brick, and underneath that brick is a key that gets you into the front door. Have you guys ever played an escape room before? I felt like all of a sudden I was involuntarily playing in an escape room. Little dog nearly the size of short Miss Land, when its paws are up, like when it's standing. So all of a sudden I am playing an escape room. And so I find the first key. The first key is really easy. Wait, this sounds like a lot of fun. No, it's not. It's also, mind you, when this happened, it was starting to get dark out. The neighborhood that they're in is not bad. It's actually known as a very, very nice neighborhood because his house is, like, if it wasn't for the fact that his grandpa had built this house when like land was cheap, like it would be like, I cannot ever dream of buying a house in that area. Even if it was like old as heck and looks like it should be demolished, I cannot dream of buying a house there. But the thing is that he's had break-ins before too. Who are you laughing at? NASA side-eyeing you. And so this is a nice neighborhood, but you know how sometimes nice neighborhoods can be a target, an easy target for people, right? Because fancy people have fancy things. So my brother-in-law has been, like, his house has been broken into a few times at this point already. So like, it's starting to get dark out. I'm starting to get kind of nervous. I find the first key, because the first key was in like plain view, because it was just in his backyard, or their backyard, right? So it was really easy to find. Because like there's this area with like a lot of cabinets and whatnot, and so that part was really easy to find. Ha ha ha! You not only are you doing the emoji, you're doing the ha 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 too. I see you, NASA. And so I find it and I exit the first stage. I got out of the backyard. I go towards the front yard, but the front yard is really, really messy. I search everywhere under all these bricks, and the thing is that the front part of this yard is kind of like towards the side of the house, and I can't like, because it's getting dark and I think I'm wearing like slippers or something like that. Like, I'm trying to be very careful of what I step into so I don't end up tripping myself, because there's a lot, not just like random bricks, but like random pieces of wood, nails, like a lot of stuff there, and I'm kind of scared about falling because I don't know if I told you guys, but balance is not my forte. And so I don't want to die and like give myself like tetanus and like a concussion, you know? And so invested into the surprise quest you got. I didn't want to go on a quest. I would, it was just a short, quick feed the dog and then go back and play my games, okay? And so I am flipping up every brick, and it's dark out now. I can barely see. I have my phone, I have the flashlight, but I'm also thinking, okay, with the flashlight, what if someone sees me, right? I'm getting kind of nervous. I could not find it. I give up. And so I actually go knocking on a neighbor's door because my brother-in-law, their family has been living here for forever. So I'm like, maybe he knows a neighbor. Definitely trying her best. Women outside of work love it so much. And so I knock on the neighbor's door and I hear some noises on the inside, but I think because I didn't look familiar, they probably thought I was like soliciting or doing something, or like, I don't know what they're thinking. They don't open the door. And so, wait, no, I didn't have my phone. Wait, how did I call them? Wait, how does this work? I'm trying to remember because this has been so long. Wait, no, I didn't have my phone. I didn't. That's why. Okay, so I ended up going on a long walk in the dark. So this is before I called my brother and my brother-in-law, my sister. So scratch out the whole like escape room thing that had not happened yet. I actually knocked on the neighbor. They didn't pick up, or they didn't open the door. And so I walked out because I knew there was, oh, actually no, the police station I think was really like far away, but I knew there was a police station somewhere. Not really within walking distance, but like they weren't gonna come home anytime soon. And so as I walked there, there's this little apartment complex, like a small little area, and there was like this college-age looking boy just playing basketball. Continues eating popcorn, offers up the long walk starting to slip. It felt really long, especially when it was starting to get dark out. I think by now is when it was starting to actually really get dark. And so I see this college kid and I'm like, okay, this can go one of two ways. It can either be like he's just a college guy, he's safe, or he's gonna know that I am a lone girl with no muscle mass that's 5'1.5", who doesn't even have a phone, let alone car keys, who if something bad were to happen, I have nothing to defend myself. It probably felt long because of your short legs, maybe. Actually, no, I actually walk really fast. People who are 6 foot and taller are like, are you from the East Coast? Because why do you walk so fast? You walk like someone from the East Coast. Fun fact, The Long Walk is a good documentary. Oh, let me swipe some popcorn. Let's go. Share. If you're gonna tease me about my height, gotta share some popcorn. So he was actually a nice guy, and luckily I actually remembered my sister's phone number. Funny enough, I think her phone number is the only number I actually remember. So that was actually when I was able to get a hold of my sister. So I called her up. I actually had to call her twice because the first time she hung up, and I'm like, oh, it's probably because it's a new number. She doesn't know who it is, so she hung up. I called it again. She's like, why is this name number calling me? So she picks up. I'm like, I'm lost. I got locked out. And like, she doesn't even need to, like, I don't even need to say who I am, just based off of my voice alone, my sad voice. She's just like, oh no, what happened? Oh, then you can probably keep up with my pace. I'm not 6 foot, but I do have long strides. I have short strides, but a lot of quick ones. I haven't teased you because of your height though. Maybe not today. Maybe not today. I'm gonna have to go back into my previous VODs and see if it was you or was it mainly Sin who was making fun of me for my height, because I know Sin has. And so she picks up and I tell her the whole story, the whole sad story, and this poor college boy is hearing me tell my sob story to my sister, and that was when she told me the escape room game. And so she's like, okay, I'm gonna be back by that time. It's still gonna be a really long time. Very rude. Me? I'm innocent, Your Honor? Out of everyone here, you're not innocent. I know you're not innocent. So that was when I got the escape room. Went back, found the keys, gave up, and it was pitch dark. And at that time, I think I was just hoping to whatchamacallit, to just not have to wait too long, because like even waiting in front of the house made me a little bit nervous, but I also didn't want to wait in the back of the house either with a very rambunctious dog that kept on like trying to like not tackle me but like topple me over. 100% Ryan, he's not even here. Just blaming the people that aren't here. One of you guys clip this and send it to Ryan. So eventually they're back. They saved me. I'm back into the house. I don't know how long I was out for. It felt like a lot of hours. I feel like it must have been at least 2 hours, maybe even 3. But when I tell you, even like 1 hour felt like an eternity. Yeah. Luckily, my front door right now, I can unlock it with my phone, and I'm almost like always really good at having my phone with me. I think it was maybe 1.5 hours. You know what? I honestly don't know. Like, I feel like saying it was 3 or 4 hours feels like it's inflating the numbers too much. You're probably not wrong, but it felt like more. I was just so terrified, so it just felt like more. And like, that was also the last time I ever played anything remotely like an escape room, because like I've only done an escape room like once or twice before that, and each time we did it successfully. We always found the way out within the time frame, right? I think the last one we were trying to find a key, and like there was a hint to find out the real key within a boxes of like a bajillion keys, but we didn't know what the hint was, or we didn't know the answer to it. So it was me, my sister, and like a lot of other friends. I'm like, as you guys are figuring that out, just start tossing me keys and we'll toss the ones that are not good off to the side. And somehow I was able to find the right key in that bajillion keys, even though we didn't know what the hint actually hinted towards. The closest to an escape room I did was when I fell in a cave. That sounds terrifying. Honestly, caves terrify me so much. Like, you know those stories where whatchamacallit, the underground like water caves, or like the ones where like was it like the students or something like that, and then they had to send someone in to find them? Those terrify me. Like, I don't have claustrophobia. Like, I'm fine. Like, I've had an MRI done before. I was fine. I didn't need anything to calm me down. I'm fine with enclosed spaces, but the thought of being trapped scares the bejesus out of me. So you good with escape rooms? After the one that was forced upon me, the one that I forced on myself, I have not done an escape room since then. Whenever anyone's like, you want to do one? I'm like, no, I'm done with escape rooms for life. I know who I'm picking to help me if I go to an escape room, not me. If you need the luck, if you have a bajillion keys and you need the luck to find the right key within like the first 10, 15, then I might be your girl, but otherwise not me. So yeah, that was the last escape room I've ever done, the real escape room I've ever done. And nowadays I always make sure I have my keys. Yeah, there's also that one where you automatically die because of high concentration of CO2. You mean like an escape room where like you have to find the way out, otherwise you die? I mean, I don't think I've ever done one like that before, but ooh, it's not an escape room, but like I've seen those like essentially like game rooms where there's like lights on the floor where like, you know how like Mario, there's certain areas like where you can't like jump to? They have that where like you have to jump from like platform to platform or like color to color on the floor, and then there's one where like the floor starts lifting up and you have to climb your way up and whatnot. I'll do that one. I'm a lazy person who doesn't like doing physical things, but that one actually sounds really fun. Bad with puzzles but good with keys. Nope, an actual cave. See, that's why I don't like doing caves. The caves, yeah, luckily the one I fell in was just gravel and water. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Was it like, did you know it was a cave, or like did it kind of just like open up into an area that became a cave? Because that sounds like a nightmare. I can't do caves. And yeah, puzzles, I'm not good with puzzles either. If I might have beginner's luck, but like puzzles, no. That's why like Sin had told me about a game. What was it called? Was it One Shot? I can't remember the name of the game. I didn't. The ground broke beneath me when I was on a high. Were you alone? Did you have anyone with you, or were you alone? That's the beginning of a horror story. One Shot, yeah. It's gonna be so frustrating for you guys to watch. The amount of times, and like I get lost so easily too, so the amount of times where like I play a game and I get lost and I can't go to where the next part of the mission is, oh, it's so bad. Yeah, I hike alone. Did you have service? Do you have like those or do you ever need those, what do you call it, like satellite phones? Because that's so terrifying. Because what if you couldn't find your way out? Or like you couldn't climb out. Oh god, just thinking about it gets my adrenaline going. Yeah, that's why you need to inform people when you're hiking. And honestly, there's been so many stories where like it's not even like wilderness hiking, but kind of wilderness. It's not like mountain hiking, but it's kind of like into like a safe area of forest. Like, you know, the whole choosing a bear or not. Like, I think I'd be too scared. Oh. But like, I can see the appeal of wanting to do it, but honestly, you know what? It's kind of safe sitting on my butt in my game room. I figured it'd be down to fate. Were you not scared at all? Okay, not gonna lie, if you can't tell already, I'd be a big scaredy cat. And I'd also be the scaredy cat who said she was gonna end stream, I think like 40 minutes ago. Seeing you play One Shot would be so great, as long as you guys know how to solve the puzzle. So then like if like it takes me too long and I'm about to rage quit, you guys better help with solving it, because like I know a lot of people are like, don't backseat. I need the backseating. Like I'll request for it. Sometimes I do kind of want to figure it out on my own, but like for puzzle games, I fully anticipate if I ever play it, because you guys want me to play it, I fully anticipate that you guys will know how to solve things. Because otherwise, we're not moving an inch. Nope, I just never think I can't do something. No fear that way. I promise to help out if you play One Shot when you need it. That is brave. That is very brave. But also maybe a little too brave. Hiking is kind of fun unless for actual danger like pitfalls and aggressive local fauna. Seriously. And like my friends like to go on the hiking where like there's a little bit of climbing involved too. It's not just like flat terrain. And I'm good with going up. I'm really bad at going down. Like, because when it comes to like, again, balance is not my friend, it's not my forte. I really can easily lose my balance trying to go down. I remembered like when we went to Hawaii like years ago, I was a young spry spring chicken. I think that hike was supposed to be only like an hour and a half. Tell me why it took me like double the amount of time. I think it took me like 2 to 3 hours to go all the way down. Cause like it wasn't slippery for people, but I don't know what was wrong with my shoes. It was like me slipping down the entire way, and it was one of those hikes where like there was no guardrail. So like if you fall, you die. You know, so I was being extra cautious because I kept on tripping and falling every like 10 steps. And so like luckily my brother-in-law at that time, my sister's fiance, had found like this long big wooden stick for me, and so I was using it as a walking stick, which helped a lot, but I kept on almost dying every like 10 steps, so it took us a really long time. So they wanted me to be the one in the front so that I could dictate how fast we go, so that they don't just like end up leaving me behind. And so being so slow going down, they thought I would be even slower going up. But no, going up, I didn't have the same issues of slipping down. So I went up in like half that amount of time. Like if the hour was supposed to be like an hour and a half, it was like an hour. It was so nice. Rock climbing, love it, love teaching it. For real, oh no, proper hiking shoes is a big no-no. At least I wasn't in flip-flops. It wasn't hiking shoes, but I was in just like regular tennis shoes. It also might have been old shoes that were a little bit worn out as well. So that might have contributed to a few things. Well, your shoes weren't good for that. Super unfortunate for the experience. Oh, hi, Irvin. Yeah, I thought, I didn't think it through that much because I'm like, oh, hiking tennis shoes are good enough for it. I didn't think about actually needing hiking shoes. So that was actually really scary for me. What's up with that look? What, is that a judgmental look from you, Sin? Is that you being judgy? Tennis shoes doesn't offer much grip. Yeah, and I don't think it helped that it was really old shoes too. How are you? I'm doing good. I feel kind of bad. I'm actually about to end stream. Although I guess I've been saying I'm gonna end stream for the past 40 minutes, so I think it's gonna actually happen this time though. I think it's gonna actually happen this time. Gotta mix the judgment with relief you weren't hurt. Yeah, and the thing is that once we got down to like the end of the hike, because you start off high up and then you go down because there's like a black beach down there. And the thing is that was it black beach? It's like darker sand or like stones or something like that. So once we got down there though, it started like having like a light pour, like just a light drizzle of rain, but it was already so slippery for me going down that when it started to rain a little bit, like, trust me when I said I was scared. Like, I'm like, am I gonna die here? Like, it was really pretty, but it was not worth my life trying to see that view. Gotta mix a judgment with relief. Oh, you can just say that part. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha, what you ha 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 about, Nasa? And don't cry, Urban, I'm gonna stream. Excuse me, I'm gonna stream tomorrow too. I think, I know Sin's been with me for quite a while, but I think for a few of you, you guys haven't seen me play any games. And honestly, I think the most, the most scary thing, not even scary, the fighting, like the boss fights, the only thing that I played with boss fights was like Rune Factory, which is still quite a farming game. So you guys can enjoy seeing me play RPGs. It's been a hot minute since I've played an RPG, so fingers crossed. All of us need fingers crossed. Yay! Man, I'm ending, but let me continue for 2 more hours. Hey, no, it was only 40 minutes. Speaking of which, I think I am out of stories, and I do really want to eat my lychees. Oh, maybe do some lychee iced tea. No, I need to sleep. Okay, no lychee iced tea. Her gameplay is kind of scary, not gonna lie. scary good. Yes, thank you for the fingers crossed. We'll start doing the fingers crossed from today, and hopefully all the fingers crossed from today till tomorrow will amount to something. Okay. I'll call it a day. I'll finally call it a day. Wait, one more thing. You know how like when you talk to like your grandma or like an auntie who's just like won't let you go off the phone sometimes? I feel like that person when I'm on stream. I'm like, wait, one more thing. Oh, and then this. My mom does the same exact thing, and I'm like, Mommy, just let me go to bed. I was sleeping when you called me. Let me go back to bed. She's like, uh-huh. Oh, and did you know your auntie did blah, blah, blah. I feel like I do that. I'm glad that still gives you the heart eyes. Okay, but for real this time, I'm gonna go. Bye, have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully the yapping is nice. I'm glad you like the yapping. Again, I am hoping to start a little bit earlier. I know the schedule says 3. I'm hoping 2 to 2:30, but no big promises. Thanks for the stream, Big L. Why does that sound like Big Loser? Yeah, Queen, you know it. This is amazing stream, man. No worries, we love the yaps. Yay, I'm glad you guys like the yapping. I'll be working, but I'll definitely appear. Okay, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow.